presented by Capital One. From downtown Toronto, for the first time in 32 years, the World Series comes to Canada. It's one team that everybody saw coming, the defending champion Los Angeles Dodgers, and one that nobody outside of Canada saw coming, the Toronto Blue Jays. Welcome inside. So we've reached the end of the road. We've got a defending champion back in the World Series for the first time since the Phillies did it in 2009. But the Dodgers, for a lot of this season, played around 500 baseball. Then they started to get healthy. They got their starting pitchers back. Postseason got a little bit closer. They took off and have rolled into this championship, trying to become the first repeat champion since the Yankees at the turn of the century. The Blue Jays have made a season out of proving people wrong. This was a last-place team last year, now in the World Series for the first time since they won back-to-back titles in '92 and '93. And you just cannot count these guys out. Look at the championship series. Down 2-0, they come back. Down in Game 7, they come back. Perfectly comfortable playing the role of the underdog, right where they want to be going into this series. Come on in, John Smoltz, the Hall of Famer. You got a team here in the Toronto Blue Jays taking on the Dodgers, who have the best player in the world in Shohei Ohtani, and on the biggest stage you got a guy who got him here with maybe the greatest performance we've ever seen.
Yeah, let's talk about that greatest performance. It was one of a kind, and we'll never see it again. Oh, what did he do? He basically pitched 6 innings, no runs, struck out 10, and that's right, he hit 3 home runs. The greatest player had the greatest game at the right time. Oh, by the way, he had 55 home runs and 50 strikeouts during the regular season, so if Shohei Ohtani does anything in this series, capable of what he's going to do, the Dodgers have a great chance of repeating.
Dodgers have the best player, but the Blue Jays have the hottest player. Their offense has been awesome, and I don't know the last time I saw a guy as locked in this time of year as Vladimir Guerrero Jr.
No, he signed the huge contract. He was struggling at the end of the season, but don't worry. He's on fire in the postseason. He's carrying this ball club, and this ball club's pretty good. Statistically, it doesn't make sense. His average, his home runs, his RBIs, but guess what? Collectively, the team average doesn't make sense. If they stay hot, they're going to make this a great series. And the key for the Toronto Blue Jays is it has to be short outings for the Dodgers starters. They got to get in the bullpen. That's a key for them to win the series.
Well, you're coming into this series thinking their offense can't get better, can it? Well, Vlad Jr.'s got his partner in crime back, Ken Rosenthal.
Thanks, Joe. Big news from the Blue Jays. Bo Bichette in the lineup, batting cleanup and playing second base. Bichette has been out nearly 7 weeks with a sprained left knee. He hasn't played second since he was at AAA in 2019. He says the knee still bothers him at random times. The place he feels healthiest is the place the Jays need him most, in the batter's box. Now, over to Tom Verducci.
Well, thanks, Ken. In a Dodger rotation of 4 aces, playing under contracts worth $1.2 billion, it all begins with Blake Snell, who is having an historic postseason, allowing just 6 hits, none on his curveball. And tonight, he has the chance to become the first pitcher to win 3 Game 1s in one postseason since Madison Bumgarner in 2014. Blake Snell is the ace among aces. Joe.
Yeah, Tom, and that is the matchup of this World Series. The Dodgers starting pitchers against the Blue Jays offense. To help get us started, here's Ben Stiller, whose documentary film Stiller and Mira, Nothing is Lost, is now streaming globally on Apple TV.
Right around this time of year, when the leaves start to change, something is the biggest and the greatest, all wrapped into one.
Shohei! He's in a world of his own!
It's a great story that completely surprises you in the best ways.
The Blue Jays have won the pennant!
It's the Fall Classic. Welcome to the World Series.
T-Mobile has the best network. That's why there's no better place to get the new iPhone 17 Pro on them. Hold on.
Is this big enough? We should have music, lights, banners. I mean, you gotta feel it. Get the most powerful iPhone ever on the best network. I sure dance.
This is big. At T-Mobile, get the incredible new iPhone 17 Pro on us on the best network.
No more coffee for Zoe.
Angel Soft. Well, it's gotta be soft.
It's gotta be strong.
No, soft.
Strong.
No, soft.
No, strong.
No, soft.
No, strong.
Soft.
Strong. Actually, Angel Soft is both. Soft so it's cushy and strong to get the job done. Unlike some other rolls, you don't have to choose. Angel Soft.
Soft and strong, simple.
Tucked inside boxes.
Sandy Koufax.
The Dodgers dominated the
A time machine to everything we ever believed about heroes.
Let's go!
History, frozen, framed in the palm of our hand.
Have a night, Mookie Betts. It's gone! Complete, utter dominance. He struck him out. He's got a whole country falling in love with him.
It's everything we dream of. We chase. We hold on to. The swings that echo. The pitches that stop time. The one-of-a-kind.
The stuff of legend.
The Dodgers and the Blue Jays. The newest edition of the Fall Classic. A signature that never fades. Where now becomes forever.
Junior strikes again.
Welcome to Game 1 of the World Series on Fox.
We are ready to rock from the Rogers Center, downtown Toronto, Game 1 of the World Series. The Los Angeles Dodgers, the Toronto Blue Jays. But the Dodgers, in their 12 World Series where they've started on the road, they've only won one time behind Sandy Koufax in 1963 as he shut down Maris and Mantle and the Yankees. And what would be a Dodgers sweep, the only sweep in a 7-game series prior to their championship series against Milwaukee. Tonight's same-game parlay is available now on FanDuel. It features Ohtani and a former Toronto Blue Jay and Teoscar Hernandez, who just got a great hand from this crowd. And Vladimir Guerrero Jr. seems like a pretty safe bet to get a hit. He's got 19 of them in this postseason to lead all players. How about this for Game 1 of the World Series? It is Trey Savage, who started this season in A-ball. He didn't even get to the big leagues until about a month ago. At 22 years old, he's the second youngest pitcher to start Game 1 of the World Series. You've got to go back to 1947 when a 21-year-old Ralph Branca started for the Dodgers at Yankee Stadium. Go get him, kid.
Yeah, go get him with that fastball and that splitter. And the first pitch of the game against Ohtani is going to be very interesting to see what he chooses.
The lineup that he faces off with for the Dodgers in Game 1 looks like this. And as you mentioned, it is Ohtani to lead things off. And then Mookie Betts at short, hitting second. Last year's MVP Freddie Freeman at first base, hitting third. The catcher Will Smith bats cleanup. Teoscar Hernandez in right. Max Muncy has hit more home runs than anybody in Dodger history in the postseason. Kike Hernandez and Tommy Edman have both turned it on in October. And Andy Pages, 27 home runs during the regular year, second only to this guy right here.
Yeah, I would think electric fastball. If you feel like you got a great fastball, challenge Shohei Ohtani because he's going to be ready to swing. And the leadoff hitter has electricity in his bat, to say the least. I don't know. I'm still deciding. I think first pitch splitter.
All right, let's see. The Savage helped the Blue Jays go through the Yankees in the division series. Seattle in the championship series. Now in the World Series for the first time since '93. Dodgers sweep Milwaukee, trying to become the first team to repeat since the Yankees. Off we go. He went fastball and he missed badly with it. Ohtani went into the clinching game of the championship series hitting just 158 for the postseason. And what changed? Dave Roberts said he got sick of hearing everybody say he couldn't hit anymore. Clubbed 3 home runs and struck out 10. There's a fastball for a strike. Some guys hit 3 home runs in a game. Some guys strike out 10 in a game. One guy does both the same day. He leads off the World Series and pokes it foul behind 1 and 2.
Well, these Dodgers are going to try their best to get a look at something they never see, and that we'll talk about throughout the game is the release point and a split finger fastball that drops from the ceiling.
Yep, to see one of those yet from the Savage. He's home with a 1-2. Sticks with a fastball. 6 feet 4 inches, the most over-the-top release point in the majors. He's only made 6 starts in the big leagues, and the huge advantage is the uniqueness and the unfamiliarity with it. Everybody's seeing him for the first time. Here's his 2-2, and there it is to finish off Ohtani.
There's the release point, and there's the splitter that drops, and the hitters just don't see this. 7.1 feet at the height of release, and his fastball command is going to be very, very huge against a Dodger team that doesn't expand the zone that often, especially the guy at the plate, Mookie Betts.
Dave and Cheryl over there, his parents, perfectly calm. That is Betts taking down and away, ball 1. This feels like a key guy right here, John. Mookie Betts. Most teams pitch around Shohei Ohtani. A lot of the big spots fall on Betts.
Yeah, and he's ready for it.
293 in his postseason, ahead 2-0.
He didn't have his greatest season. He lost a bunch of weight, got sick, and really battled his way back. But I think in the postseason, you're going to see a different version of the Mookie Betts that you saw in the regular season.
The only active big leaguer with 3 championship rings. Looking for the 4th. Swings and misses at that slider. And we talk about the uniqueness of the splitter. Slider is unique, too, in that it actually moves arm side.
Yeah, it's a downward break and doesn't exactly turn the corner.
Got the call there.
It's a hard pitch for the hitter to recognize, because typically when they see the slider, they're looking for that break away. But see how it holds its plane and goes straight down.
Checked his swing. 3-2. There are 4 sliders in all of the big leagues that move like that don't actually break right to left. He's got one of them. And again, all these hitters getting their first look. The payoff to Mookie Betts. Bouncing ball. Jimenez. 2 out.
So when you look at what you're facing, you don't see these kind of release points. That's what the average for Major League Baseball, and his is way above average. He's got a short stride, and they can't have a long stride and a tall release. It's almost impossible. So you got to have one or the other, and then that's what they're looking at coming out of his hand. And everything is at the same height, so that's why it's tough for hitters to recognize the pitch.
Megan Thee Stallion has been the most popular artist here as he's debuted. They play Savage in here on every strikeout. Freddie Freeman to the plate with 2 out, and he cracks the first one foul. World Series MVP last year. Of course, Game 1 is when he ended it with a walk-off grand slam. One of 4 home runs that he hit in the Fall Classic with 12 runs batted in. Has not gotten going in these playoffs, though. He's down 0-2.
Freddie Freeman loves the ball down, fastball down. So if at any point you get a fastball down that he fouls off, you foul it off with a split. That's going to be tough for Freddie. Also, he's riding a nice little 17 on base game streak.
One-two from Trey Savage. Bounce gently right side to Bo Bichette, and the kid has him rocking to the 1-2-3 first. Blue Jays come to bat against Blake Snell when you come back.
2, please. Make that 3 with the Capital One Saver card. You earn.
They're getting a rare start with the left-hander on the mound hitting second. Then Vladimir Guerrero Jr. bats third. Bo Bichette, his first action in more than a month. Alejandro Kirk bats fifth with Dalton Varsho, one of the 2 left-handers in the lineup. Clement, Straw, and Jimenez with this long lineup for the Jays. It's Blake Snell for the Dodgers, who faced the minimum over 8 scoreless innings in Game 1 of the championship series. The last time somebody did that in the postseason, Don Larsen's perfect game in 1956. Game 7 hero leads off. First pitch to George Springer. Upstairs, ball 1.
Well, there's no better feeling of a pitcher when you're in rhythm and in groove. You don't care who you're facing. You're connected with all your pitches. And I think the same thing tonight. If his fastball command is on, it's going to be tough, even for one of the best offenses in baseball, the Toronto Blue Jays.
to short, and Betts off one bounce, one out. A couple of changes to the lineup in this game. They have not seen much left-handed pitching in this postseason, and so for Davis Schneider, just his 4th start of the postseason, and right into that 2 spot.
Well, he's going to need a little better performance than he's had in the regular season against left-handers. You would think that would be his sweet side at the plate, but he has not put enough pitches in play against the left-handed pitchers.
He's actually been better against righties. Continues to get most of his action, though, against Southpaws. Takes high from Snell. This is the whole matchup, though, John. It's Snell and the Dodger starters against this Blue Jays offense. While the rest of the teams have hit .218 in this postseason, the Blue Jays have hit .296.
Well, he has weapons on the curveball that drops into the strike zone. He'll rarely throw it for a strike when he doesn't want to. Changeup that fades away from the right-handers, and fastball he can pitch to both sides of the plate, up and down.
Here's his 1-1 to Schneider. Fastball, get in on him, and a pop up to Mookie Betts. 2 up and 2 down in this first inning. Here comes Vlad Guerrero Jr. 42, twice as many home runs as he has strikeouts in this postseason. I don't know the last time I saw a guy this time of year look this locked in.
Yeah, you're going to have a hard time getting him out up. You're going to get him out down. If you get him out, it's going to be down. That's the pitch right there. You got to get the changeup away, and you got to get the fastball in to just keep him guessing. If you stay in the same area, there's no chance you're going to get him out consistently.
Franchise face delivering high a dream of for a guy that signs the big contract, $500 million deal that started this season, kind of reignited hope around the Blue Jays coming off that last place finish. Season that starts with a big contract, ends in the Fall Classic. The 1-1 from Snell. A little high, ball 2.
Yeah, you saw they were trying to get him that pitch in. He did not. So the hitter doesn't know unless he can look back after the pitch and think that that pitch was in. He just thought maybe that's going to be up. Establish in, change up away.
On a 2-1, Guerrero takes in the dirt, and that's been the whole thing watching him. If you're out of the zone even by an inch, he's not budging. No. You come in the zone and he's hitting it a mile.
Yeah. A spinner right here in the middle of the zone, he'll launch a ball. A pitch away, he'll take it to right center.
Change up, taken for a strike. Come on back. 3-2.
2 change-ups perfectly placed. And in a 3-1 count, you can just sit there and kind of spit on it as a hitter. Now you got to be aware that he's hit that spot twice.
Snell kicks and fires a payoff. Guerrero chops it down the line foul. He threw a career high 38 of those change-ups against Milwaukee. He said that he felt like the Brewers were on his fastball, sitting on that, and so he goes to the changeup, but varied the way that he threw it. He threw it as hard as 89. He threw it as slow as 79.
Yeah, it's just good touch right now, and his mechanics are so locked in, and that's why it's fun to be a pitcher when you're feeling like this. I mean, right now he's already hit every quadrant on Guerrero in this at bat.
Another payoff. Taken for ball 4, and the Jays have the first base runner of the game. And how about the ovation you're going to get right here? Bo Bichette, who last played on September 6th when he injured his knee at Yankee Stadium. Not only is he back, he's plugged right into the cleanup spot. John Schneider said you could call him in the middle of winter and ask if he's ready to hit, and he said, you betcha.
That's going to be the theme tonight, though. Even though he's missed a lot of time, they're going to pound him in, try to tie up his hands. Now, he likes it middle in. So it's strength against strength, and then what that does is if he pounds it in enough, he can get him out of the way. Same thing with Guerrero.
The 1-0 from Snell. Bichette takes inside ball 2. He was a .311 hitter during the regular season. Only Aaron Judge had a higher average. Hitting's feeling fine. Running's feeling fine. Playing him at second base for the first time since he was in the minors. Just took a little bit of stress off him as opposed to his normal shortstop position. Bichette on 2-0. Looks at ball 3.
Trying to establish his fastball in. He's quick with it. That means he's feeling good, and being quick, you pull it inside a little more than you want to. He's trying to hit the inner part of that strike zone and has missed on the first 3.
A green light and a runner that'll sneak through for a base hit into right field. Guerrero heads for third. Hernandez's throw not close to in time, and the Jays have him cornered in the first. Welcome back, Bichette. Guy can fall out of bed and hit.
Typically 3-0, you might think about pulling this ball, but he saw a side of the infield that was wide open, and he gets a hit. And right away, the theme again for this series: runners in scoring position, 2 outs. They do it all. They score a ton of runs with 2 outs. They score a ton of runs with runners in scoring position, but they're facing some nastiness for the Dodgers starting pitcher.
One of a kind catcher of the Blue Jays right here, Alejandro Kirk. First and third, 2 out. First inning of game 1. Snell continues to be around the zone with the fastball.
Well, he needs the top of the zone for the fastball because he pitches so comfortably up there, and he hasn't gotten any of those calls yet. That one right there could have gone either way.
Really dangerous high fastball hitter right here in Kirk. Fan favorite. Fouls it off, and it's 1-1. Unofficial captain of this Blue Jays team more than once. Alejandro has been stopped by stadium security on his way in and visiting parks, who's saying, "What are you trying to do getting into the clubhouse?" Well, I'm a player. I'm an all-star player. Might not look the part, but the dude can flat out play. Trying to get the Jays on the board first. He's ahead 2-1.
Rushing his fastball just a little bit. Trying with, and this is a good meeting right here by Will Smith. Just getting him to relax a little bit. Look, a week off and longer for this pitching staff since they won.
Old school, John. We're throwing it back the way these Dodger starters are going deep into games. 7 innings after 7 innings. Got a complete game thrown in there. The first one in the postseason in 7 years. Meanwhile, the Blue Jays, the highest average team, the best bat-to-ball team. Don't let that make you think these are a bunch of slap hitters, though. They also lead the majors in home runs in this postseason.
Yeah, they do it all. And listen, when you don't swing and miss a lot, you put the pressure on the other pitcher to make great pitches. Now, you can make great pitches and get quick outs and go deep into the game against this offense, but you better make great pitches consistently.
Snell gave up just 1 base runner against the Brewers in game 1 of the championship series. Already a couple here in the first. Ball 3 on Kirk. A left-handed batting Dalton Varsho's on deck. So you're being careful right here with Kirk, knowing you got lefty-lefty coming, going right at it.
Absolutely careful. Absolutely. The lefty should be a tough at bat against Blake Snell.
On 3-1, Kirk fouls it off. 3-2, center cut curve.
Well, with that bum knee, a little extra opportunity to get running for Bichette here with 3-2, 2 outs.
Kirk will ask for time. Now, the Blue Jays have had this offensive machine, even though Kirk has not done a whole lot in this postseason at just .222.
Blue Jays are the best 2-strike hitting team in baseball.
And he's the best of the bunch. Payoff from Snell. Fouls it off, and we'll do it again.
But this is going to be the recipe for success. You see all those first categories, and what they'll do is they'll drive a pitch count up. Even though they're an aggressive team, they foul off the good pitches, they take the bad pitches. And right now, they got 20. This will be the 23rd pitch.
Yeah, no matter what happens, they've won this half inning by driving that pitch count up. Because the whole thing, the Dodger bullpen is not close to what this rotation is. It's just it's not been exposed because the starters have gone deep so consistently. If the Blue Jays are going to win this series, chances are they're going to win it against the pen. Can they get there? 24th of the inning, 8 to Kirk. Is shot down the line, peeling, foul. This can't put this guy away. You're talking about how good he is with 2 strikes. Give you a little context on that. The league average with 2 strikes is 170. Alejandro Kirk, 270 with 2 strikes. Most guys would take that average, period, regardless of count.
Yeah, he only has an 18% miss rate on the breaking balls against left-handers, so that takes the left-handed weapon and just basically tells you he's staying on it. He doesn't miss much inside as well, and he loves hitting the ball on the outside part of the plate.
On the 9th pitch, Kirk takes ball 4, bases loaded. What a chance for the Blue Jays in this first inning against Snell. And he has just cruised through this postseason, 3-0 with a sub-1 ERA. These 25 pitches, the most that he's thrown in an inning in his 4 starts. So here's that lefty-lefty matchup we were talking about against Varsho.
First pitch is so key. Bases loaded. He's missed with a lot of his fastballs.
Misses with a curveball. This looks like a different guy so far.
Well, on the road, and like they said, that rest. When he clicks in, though, and this is a chance here with 2 outs. They've done a lot of damage on the pitch count, but a hit right here would go a long way for this crowd that's been standing the whole first inning.
Varsho watches a curve find the zone. Darton Varsho went into Game 7 of the championship series and 3 for 24 slide. John Schneider said, I got a feeling this guy's about to turn it around. And he went 2 for 4. Knocked in their first run in Game 7. Golden chance for the Blue Jays. 1-1 pitch. Swing and a miss. 1-2.
Well, the angles of which Snell throws make it so tough on anybody, but really tough on left-handers. He's going to have to make a mistake with his breaking ball if Varsho is going to have a chance because of the angle that he comes in, and we'll show you later why his arm swing is so hard to pick up as a hitter.
The 1-2. Another breaking pitch is flied into center field. Andy Pages comes on, and Blake Snell gets out of this bases loaded jam, but the Jays force him to throw 29 pitches. The World Series comes to Canada, putting the World in World Series this year. Game 1 is underway. The Dodger catcher had a career year, hit .296, was an all-star, but then he injured his hand in early September and missed the last month. He's come back, he's collected his hits, but no pop in there. It's been all singles in this postseason. Fastball misses, 1-0.
This could be a tough at bat for you, Savage, and I don't think you could say that so far on anybody the way he's throwing, but good right-handed hitter against right-handed pitchers.
2-0.
When you have an arm side guy you're facing, you want that guy to be a little more aggressive. Well, Will Smith's not aggressive. He does a good job commanding the zone, so you got to come to him.
This whole Dodger lineup really good at being disciplined. The Savage in his last start, I was against the Seattle team, opposite end of the spectrum, extra aggressive. But the Dodgers have always prided themselves on not chasing, not going out of the strike zone. On a 2-1, Smith lays off. Now Trey Savage, it's only 6 starts, but if he had enough data in there to qualify, he would have the highest chase rate of anybody in baseball. So he's relied on teams to be aggressive. His 3-1 is taken for ball 4. The Dodgers have their first base runner on a leadoff walk from Smith. Power Player is sponsored by Salesforce. It's not supposed to go like this. Trey Savage started his season in front of 328 fans against the Jupiter Hammerheads. Now he's pitching in the World Series, and they asked him, are you living your dream here? And he shook his head and he said, I don't know how I could have ever dreamt of this. Not this fast. First round pick just last year. A-ball to the World Series in 1 year. He's downstairs with his first one to Hernandez.
And again, this will be a test for him because the Dodgers don't expand the zone, and his fastball's not as electric as we saw in the first start in the postseason. He's got a couple fastballs that have cut at 93, 94. It's not that the velocity is everything, but you can just tell he doesn't have that fresh arm to let it go and let it eat. And that is going to be concerning if he doesn't command that early and go to his off speed.
So much of the chase comes after you establish that. Finds his zone with a slider.
So I would, just watching him right now without knowing anything, I would say he's going to be more off-speed dependent right now based on what I'm seeing out of his fastball.
Than you would like him to be, especially. That was the least that he's used his fastball in this rookie season against Seattle. Sliders in for strike 2. They got away with it with how aggressive those Mariners hitters were. Oscar Hernandez, 58 home runs in his 2 seasons with the Dodgers, another 7 in the postseason. On a 1-2 from Savage. Bounces one left side to second for 1. Bichette to first, not in time. Hernandez aboard, 1 away on the fielder's choice. They said they drafted Trey Savage for the uniqueness of the delivery. Now they love the demeanor.
Trey seems just unfazed. He's 22, but you wouldn't know it.
Dunedin Blue Jays, Vancouver Canadians, New Hampshire Fisher Cats, Buffalo Bison, and Toronto Blue Jays. It's crazy. It's a dream come true, and so excited.
So Trey got to the major league September 15th. He's been living out of a hotel room in Toronto since then, and every time they leave town, he has to check out of his room, apparently. He was a strikeout once. He said that his truck looks like a mobile home. Just all kinds of stuff thrown in there.
I think he'll have a permanent home next year, but you've already seen, again, that's 4 sliders in a row now. Fastball usage is going to be low.
Muncy on 0-1. Shoots one to left field, a base hit, and the first one of the game for the Dodgers. Max Muncy, who's just 1 for 12 in the championship series, has a single to put him at first and second.
He gave a high sign for a slider that I don't know if he's actually trying to throw the slider up there, but that's right down the middle and no break at all. And Max Muncy's not going to miss too many of those. He's lucky he's a single. This is the part of the lineup that if they produce at all for the Dodgers, they're going to be really hard to beat. This is part of the lineup hasn't produced as much as the Toronto Blue Jays bottom part of their lineup.
2 on, 1 out. Kike Hernandez very high with a fastball. Their October ringer right here. Hernandez, who is a below average hitter during the regular season. We're talking more than a decade in the majors, who just transforms when he gets into October with a line in the postseason that's almost identical to Reggie Jackson. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Now the one thing over the last couple years that you could do to Kike Hernandez is get him to hit a ground ball double play. He's hit into quite a few of them.
Jays have turned a bunch of them. That's up the middle and through. Base hit center field from Hernandez. Teoscar Hernandez comes home. The Dodgers are on the board first. Kike Hernandez again getting the job done in the postseason. And it's the bottom of the order for the Dodgers, getting the game's first run.
Another slider over the middle of the plate. You cannot live there with the Dodgers. You cannot. And he's going to have to make an adjustment. When the Dodgers realize he doesn't have his fastball or not willing to go to his fastball a lot, they can sit on the off-speed pitches.
What a swing right there. Blue Jays had bases loaded against Blake Snell, could not cash in. The Dodgers, half inning later, have the game's first run. And Tommy Edman taken inside for a ball. Tommy Edman is a switch hitter that occasionally, very occasionally, will bat righty-righty, and he does that here to try and take away that splitter. It's only the 4th time all year that he's seen a right-hander from this side. The former Blue Jay, Teoscar Hernandez, scores the first run of this fall classic. 1-0 2 on the high fastball.
Yeah, he's got to have that pitch. I mean, that fastball is going to set up a lot of other things. And up until this hitter, that's the first time 2 in a row in a while.
Muncy at second, Kike Hernandez at first. And a 1-2 from Trey Savage in the dirt, count evens. The run in the bank, the Dodgers looking for more here in the second. On a 2-2, Edman. Taps it along third, and no play for Ernie Clement. An infield single for Tommy Edman to load the bases. And the Dodgers doing their best Blue Jays impression here, putting the ball in play and putting the pressure on.
Well, what a total change of the bottom of the first to the top of the second. And speaking of the top, he just hit the top of that baseball. The Toronto Blue Jays got a chance to break open their lead, and now they're worried about a crooked number here. And this meeting at the mound is going to be like, got to attack this hitter because the next hitter on deck is not fun.
Superman. Super 6. Play the Fox Super 6 MLB Playoff Challenge. Download the Fox Sports app right now and enter for free for a shot to win your share of $20 grand in cash prizes. See the Fox Sports app for details.
Good breaking ball hitter in Pages. He also loves hitting off of left-handed pitchers.
Now, Pages has really struggled in this postseason, just 3 for 35. Dave Roberts pulled him aside a few days ago and said enough grinding in the cage over mechanics. Just be a hitter. Aim for the middle of the field. And seemed to turn it on after that conversation at the end of the championship series. The Dodgers think he's ready to take off after a breakout second season where he hit 27 home runs. Dodgers with their own bases loaded chance. Pages down 0-2.
We haven't seen the feel for that splitter. Only 3 of them so far. It's been heavy slider usage.
Pages looking for his first hit with a runner in scoring position in these playoffs. This Dodger offense has not really gotten it going. It's been the pitching that's gotten them here. They're only averaging about 3 runs per game. The 0-2. Taken in the dirt. A walk and 3 singles in the inning. Ohtani looms on deck. That's the only guy to hit more home runs than Pages on the Dodgers this year. The 1-2 popped out of his hand and the count evens. So Blake Snell's bottom of the first has become Trey Savage's top of the second. Already 23 pitches thrown. And now a 2-2 to Pages. Misses downstairs and misses his spot even worse.
This field right now is not connected, and it's showing. Normally in the 0-2 count, the hitter would have been put away already. I understand the Dodgers are a different team, but mechanically he is just not connected with his release point.
3-2 on Pages. Nowhere to put him with Ohtani on deck. Here it comes. He struck him out. Slider gets Pages 2 away.
Well, he saved his best slider that really took off down.
Well, here we go with the bases loaded. It's Shohei Ohtani. Struck out with a splitter his first time. Fastball sneaks by him.
Got to crowd Ohtani, and you got to get him up out of the zone.
Don't leave one mediocre in the zone. 55 home runs during the regular season. On the 0-1, he takes a slider down. 1 ball, 1 strike. Kid that started the season in front of 300 people in Jupiter, Florida, faces Ohtani in the World Series. Falls behind him 2-1. Scary proposition to have to battle back into the count against him.
Yeah, and again, we showed you the release point when he throws his split, but when he's up that high up a release point and you're behind that ball, you got to get down through it. That's what creates the depth and the movement, and it's almost coming out of his hand and popping up high and not having the true effect.
Grounder, fair. Guerrero beats him to the bag, and the Savage limits the damage to 1.
Rainmaker
AI and by FanDuel Sportsbook. Play your game. Inside the CN Tower, up there 1,800 feet in the sky, 553 meters. Win in Rome. Dodgers in front, 1-0 here in game 1. At the bottom of the second, Ernie Clement takes a strike from Blake Snell. And yeah, we talk about the stars at the top of the lineup, John, but what really has to be exhausting to face him is you get down to the 7 spot and you got a guy like Ernie Clement hitting .429.
They've been collectively one of the most impressive lineups I've seen go through really good pitching staffs. New York, 3 studs. Seattle, 3 or 4 studs, and made them all look human.
0-2 from Snell. Is hooked into shallow left field and a base hit, and that's what he's done all postseason. Swings at everything. It doesn't matter if it's in the middle. It doesn't matter if it's a foot off of the ground. Ernie Clement's not met a pitch he didn't like. Fox Foresight, powered by Google Cloud. Taking a look at this Blue Jays offense. There's Clement on there with a .429 average. You've got Vlad Jr. with his power. Springer, his heroics out of the leadoff spot. I mean, this pitch is almost on the ground.
That's what happens. You make contact, good things can happen. And they have followed this script from spring training, adopted it as a team collectively.
That's a strike on Miles Schrag. It's his first start since game 2 of the division series. As the Blue Jays have gone from last place last year to first place in the World Series this year, the offense, the biggest reason why. They were 23rd last year, top 5 this year. With that bat to ball pesky approach. But again, I mentioned this earlier. There seems to be this idea that they're a bunch of just slap hitters, contact hitters, put it in play, fight the good fight. Now, this dude's hit dingers. 20 home runs in 11 games. That's the most in the postseason. Marrying the contact with the power. That's the whole key.
And they're just the best team with runners on base. I mean, they just put the ball in play, and they got 7 guys that had 7 RBIs already this postseason. That is getting it done and spreading it out.
Last time that a team had an average this high, scored this many runs per game in the postseason, you got to go back to 2007 in the Boston Red Sox. Snell to Straw, strikes him out. First of the game for Snell, and 1 gone in the second inning. T-Mobile, the best network in the game, is now the best network in America. I don't know if many people had this guy coming up here as a key factor offensively in the championship series, but when the Jays were down 2-0 going back to Seattle, it was Jimenez, the light-hitting shortstop, that had 2 home runs to swing that series.
Yeah, two big 2-run homers in consecutive days. And he plays solid defense, filling in for Bichette. And there's the 7 through 9 hitters that we were talking about. That is rarefied air in the postseason.
I know as a pitcher, you grab the lineup card and you look, where am I going to go and have my spot where I can kind of cruise. You don't have that with these guys.
Not as much. I mean, for Snell, he's got to look at the 2 lefties, you know, Varsho and Jimenez, for opportunities to really utilize his strength against left-handers. So tough to hit. And he can mix in
All those breaking balls that I was talking about, he just got such an arm swing and an angle that comes out of his glove. They just don't see it very well. It's not a long arc. It's not a super high release point, but it's higher than most. And he's tight to the body.
32-year-old from Seattle. 2-2.
And let's face it, up until this year, the reason he hadn't pitched a lot of innings and pitched deep in the game, he just threw too many pitches per game, and he was hurt. So now that he's healthy and now that he's connected, when he doesn't throw a ton of pitches, he's going to go deep in the game, and he's proven it what he's done already in the postseason.
He said in Tampa Bay early on in his career, he got by on talent alone. San Diego, he watched Yu Darvish go about his pregame preparation, fell in love with that side of it. And then it all came together for him last year in San Francisco. Check swing, hit the bat at strike 3. That's a foul tip for strike 3.
Rather unfortunate there. He held his swing, but just barely nicked the ball.
Just to wrap up that point about it all coming together for him in San Francisco, Logan Webb, who is the modern workhorse, he told him, he said, look, dude, your stuff is great. You just got to be in the zone more with it.
Yep.
And he's put that all together this year. Springer with a cue shot to first. Freeman has no play at second. Turns and throws to first. It's not in time. Throw to third. They got him. Wow, the ball getting tossed all over the diamond. First, Freeman looks to second. Then he goes to first. And back across the diamond for a second. They're looking like a high-level Little League game. But they get Ernie Clement and Blake Snell with an adventurous first couple innings, but no damage against him.
Not in the World Series. These plays never die. That's how legends are made.
Undefeated Indiana takes on a dangerous UCLA. It's Big Noon Saturday on Fox.
.22-year-old out of Boyertown, Pennsylvania, Trey Savage, who grew up on the family farm, was drafted last year. Starting game 1 of the World Series, home to Mookie Betts to open up the third, and he misses with his first pitch. He's now made more starts in the postseason than he has in the regular season in his career. Saw him carve through the New York Yankees, strikeout 11, 5+ no-hit innings in his first start. 1 good, 1 bad against the Mariners. This is as kind of off and flat as he's looked.
Yeah, his slider percentage is almost doubled, and the fastball command and velocity is down.
Ball. 2-1 on Betts, and we check in with Ken Rosenthal.
Well, Joe, Trey Savage is doing something tonight he is not accustomed to doing, and that's pitching on 4 days rest. This is his 29th start as a professional, minors, majors, postseason, and only his 5th on the standard 4 days. And if this series goes 5 games, he presumably would be pitching on 4 days again.
It's a lot to ask. I mean, it's a lot to ask for him to come up in the middle of a division race. It's a lot to ask to have him start postseason games. He's been up to the challenge every time that they've asked. Just there's only so much in that tank, and he's issued his second leadoff walk. You know, the look at that play that ended off the last inning here. A lot going on.
Yeah, Snell's got to go over, but then the awkward throw from the angle, and then he didn't lose his mind and was aware to throw the ball to third, and a perfect throw and an easy tag. It's hard to find the bag going backwards, but you don't anticipate your first baseman being almost by the mound before you the ball.
Freddie Freeman fouls off first pitch.
And that's because he went towards second to make the throw, which would have been easier on Freddie, but nobody was covering. So the next best thing happened.
The Knight made that out at third to finish off the inning. Freeman, who grounded out his first time. We asked Dave Roberts before the game, where is Freddie with his swing? And he said, fine, but I never worry about him. Even when it's just fine, you can always count on him. I mean, look at the World Series last year when the guy could hardly walk. Hadn't hit a ball out of the infield in like a month. And then suddenly he's Reggie Jackson. 4 home runs, 12 RBIs, a World Series record.
Mookie Betts is getting awfully close to stealing the second base.
Neither one of these teams has run much in these playoffs. In the dirt, good stop by Kirk. Rewarding Performance is sponsored by Capital One. Looking back at what Freddie Freeman did last postseason, first walk-off Grand Slam in World Series history. Now tries to join a list of Koufax, Gibson, Reggie Jackson, Corey Seager, guys to win multiple World Series MVPs. That's inching a little bit more. Not going on ball 3. Freeman, 36 years of age in his 16th year in the major leagues. Won it all with the Braves in 2021. Second ring last year. 9 straight All-Star games for this guy. And it's back-to-back walks to open the third, and John Schneider's got to start to think about how soon he wants to get that bullpen going.
Absolutely. Not only is it hard to hit with his release point, but the biggest knock and why you don't see a lot of pitchers throwing like that, it's hard to command. And that command gets him in trouble. It's the only thing that'll get him in trouble, and you could just see right now, fastball is not confident. The split we haven't seen. We've just seen a lot of sliders.
And so now Will Smith, who drew the first of the 3 walks that he's issued. Dodgers up 1-0. First and second, nobody out, and a fastball for a strike on Smith. The bullpen does get going. That's Fisher. Neither one of these bullpens is strength for these teams. Savage in a do-or-die game 6. Took a shutout into the 6th inning on Sunday. Got the win in that game to extend their season. Digging deep here in game 1 of the World Series. Dodgers still have not chased out of the strike zone.
That's what makes them so good, and that's why you have to make quality pitches. About 7 of the 9 guys in the lineup. There's a couple guys that they definitely will chase, but majority of them don't.
Still no bite. Ball 3 on Smith.
Ball's outside. I mean, if he had a feel for his split, this would be the time to break it out. But we have not seen that pitch as much.
Came into the game, opponents were 5 for 42, 24 strikeouts against his splitter. His payoff is poked through the right side, a base hit for Smith. Here comes Betts. Strauss throw goes into second, and they've got Freeman hung up. Here comes a tag from Clement. We're running back to the bag. It is 2-0 Dodgers. Will Smith drives in Mookie Betts and heads into second there with Freeman tagged out for the first out of the inning.
Freddie with a rare base running error. And this is just, again, good hitting by a Dodger team that has really put Savage in a tough spot, and Freddie went past the bag thinking there might be a throw home, but it wasn't. And this is a good play by throwing it right to second base, and now he's stuck.
It's been an edge for the Blue Jays, and every series they've played in, the defense really good, has been all year, and helped the Savage out right here. So man at second, one away for Tasker Hernandez. Hernandez, I think, got the loudest cheer for any Dodger during the pregame. Guy that they still love around here. Spent 5 seasons with the Jays. And Vladimir Guerrero Jr. has given Teoscar Hernandez a lot of credit for bringing him along when he got to the major leagues, mentoring him. Section of the dugout where the two of them and then Lourdes Gurriel Jr. when he was here, they would all sit together and watch the games. They called it El Barrio, the neighborhood. Hernandez has taken on that same mentor role with the Dodgers. Passed it on to Andy Pages this year. Big influence on him.
Sometimes the ball feels like an egg in your hand. And what I mean by that is when you put it in the split finger grip, it feels great. Feels like a cue ball that you could just absolutely create rotation. When it feels like an egg, it feels oblong, it feels the grip's not right, and it comes out and just stays high and doesn't have the effectiveness.
Slider's the only thing he's had. As many balls as strikes. Here's his 2-2. It is a slider, and it's taken for ball 3. Fisher's ready to go in that Blue Jays bullpen. John Schneider really like to avoid having to get that door swinging open this quick. On a payoff, Hernandez grounds one towards the middle. Bichette with a backhand. Quick trigger throw to first. You'd never know. He's never played there in the big leagues.
That was such an outstanding play. You know he's got to be a little careful, and we talked about his knee. Running won't be the big issue. It's these kind of plays. You see the effort, and you see the throw, and a big out.
John Schneider said, I know he can do it, and he knows firsthand from having managed him in Double-A back in 2018 when he played a little bit of second base. That was the last test for him. How did he move around taking grounders at second the last few days? And they said, good enough. Smith at third. Muncy with 2 out takes a ball. Singled his first time. Longest tenured Dodger position player right here. Only Clayton Kershaw has been in the Dodgers longer than Max Muncy. Who would have thought that when he first came to the team after the Oakland A's cut him loose? He's hit more home runs in the postseason than any Dodger ever. One of them ended the longest postseason, longest World Series game ever, 18-inning Game 3 in 2018. You're still catching up on rest and sleep from that one.
Still in.
The 1-1. Muncy swings and misses over a slider.
I'm going to tell you something right now. If he can find a way to get out of this inning and only give up 2 runs with all the runners and all the pitches, I'm sure John Schneider would welcome that.
Got evens 2-2.
Got to notice right away the fastball forced down, trying to force velocity. Sometimes that's what happens. You pull it down. It's freedom that allows his fastball to explode at the top of the zone.
Muncy traces a splitter for strike 3, and despite 3 walks and 4 hits, only 2 runs against him. Middle 3, 2-0 Dodgers.
Always thought just being.
No, I think they made a pretty good adjustment there, second and third inning. Just the walks, leadoff walks the last 2 innings, you know, it's going to come back and get you against this team. But overall, I think he's handled himself well, pitched out of a couple jams, making big pitches right now when he has to.
Why isn't he throwing more splitters?
I think some of it is their lineup with the right-handers there in the middle. Didn't look like he had a great feel for it, to be honest with you. Some that were, you know, more up in the zone than we're used to. Really good one there to Muncy to end that inning, but hopefully he gets a feel for it going forward.
All right, for people who have not seen your team play, what would you tell them?
We've got a bunch of baseball players, you know what I mean? They're all pulling for one another, and they understand their role and how they kind of fit into the team. So we got to keep the pressure on Blake here. You know, I like the way we've come out, got his pitch count up a little bit. Got to keep getting guys on base. But as far as the team, you know, we're gonna scrap and we're gonna claw. You know, these guys are not gonna give in to anyone at any time, and we got a long way to go today.
John, thanks a lot. Joe, back to you.
All right, Kenny, for those of you not fluent in baseball talk, when he says we got a bunch of baseball players, that means grinder types that have had to work really hard to get here, might not hit it a mile, might not be the fastest or the strongest, but really good at the little things. Like this guy right here in Davis Schneider, who's a 28th round draft pick, now hitting second for a World Series team. He's down on strikes here for the first out of the third, and there is that changeup that Snell rode against Milwaukee.
Well, for Snell, I thought he was rushing early, and by rushing early, that means you get out in front, get head movement, and your pitches are off. And if he could stay back and do the things that makes him elite level, then he's going to be fine, and he can pitch deeper into this game.
Guerrero, who coaxed a walk out of him in the first inning. No matter what way this game one goes, we may look back to that bottom of the first inning as the key one. If the Blue Jays win it, you can look at that and say, well, they ran Snell's pitch count up in the first inning. If they don't win it, you look and say, what a missed opportunity there, leaving him loaded against Snell. Snell to Guerrero. He's fouled off, and it's 1-2. 26 years old in his 7th season. Vlad Jr. All-Star 5 times, very streaky. He's in one of the good streaks right now. The toe tap perfectly synced up. There it is. Here it comes. 2-2. Full count. More and more patient through the years. That's where he has diverged paths from his dad, the Hall of Famer Vladimir Guerrero. He would swing at everything and hit just about everything. Vlad's waited for his pitch, and he hits everything too.
That's an impressive at bat. 0-2 to 3-2 to sitting on that changeup and smoking it through the hole between short and third. That's just hitting at its best. Keep your hands back, get the bat flat through the zone, and hit it hard. And that's something he does very well. He hits it hard.
Dad at 449 Major League home runs, 318 career hitter. Never won a World Series though. Bichette swings and misses at the high fastball. Vlad Jr. said he wants to win a ring and give it to his dad and say, this is yours. I wouldn't be here without you. And everything you taught me, those big league clubhouses through the years. Vlad grew up at his hip. Roller to first, and Freddie Freeman will go to second one. Back to first, they turn two with a jump throw from Betts. And after 3 innings in game one, the defending champion with a 2-0 lead.
Sitting, and then a strike thrower. What was the adjustment?
You know, I think the adjustment was, you know, he stayed bullish with the fastball. He made pitches with his changeup. I think right now he's overthrowing the fastball a little bit, missing up in the zone. But, you know, big out, you know, when he needed to get that out on Varsho, limited the damage. And right there, that double play off the bat of, you know, Bichette was a big play. So I think right now he's getting into a better rhythm.
Offensively, you know that Trey Savage is a tough guy to solve, seeing him for the first time. Your guys saw 34 pitches out of the zone before someone swung at one. What has been the key to the approach?
I think just trying to go at it the 2-0, 3-0 approach, just trying to lock him into a really, you know, finite area of the hitting zone. And we're trying to stress him a little bit and making him make pitches, which we're doing. And they've already got the pen going. So right now I like our offensive approach.
Thanks so much, Dave.
All right, TV.
It's Kike Hernandez starting this fourth for his Dodgers, and he's down swinging over a slider. Strikeout number 4 for Trey Savage.
Well, he has to arc a little bit to throw it at 7. See that arc in his head? And when he arches his back a little bit better, he gets into a better position to break that slider down. When there isn't that tilt and there isn't that arc, the ball has no chance to break. And that's the downside of throwing it at that release point.
And the upside is it's just tough to hit. So if he can get the fastball back in his game, I don't know how much longer he's going to be given to get his fastball back. But that's been the issue tonight. Tommy Edman here, bases empty and one away. Yeah, it's way up there, backing out of play. Ball and a strike. It's probably going to be 2 more hitters for him here. You got Edman here, Pages on deck. After that, Ohtani, and the left-hander Mason Fluharty, who's the guy they have earmarked for Ohtani in this series, is ready. Run in the second, run in the third. A 2-0 hole for the Jays, but got to feel like could be worse. 7 base runners for the Dodgers and only those 2 runs.
Well, when you're looking at when he's good, I want you to see if you think you could hit this pitch when it comes out. Fastball, release point, split release point. Get ready for the fastball. Nope. And you're going to see this dip and this drop that is so deadly that when he's connected with his fastball and he throws that split finger, the left-handers have no chance.
Sackhouse 3D powered by Google Cloud. Here it comes to the 1-2 pitch. And that is why Tommy Edman, even though 99% of the time would choose to hit left-handed, goes to the other side because he doesn't throw that splitter as much to right-handed hitters. But eliminate his best weapon. Another 1-2. Over the top of a slider. Throwing that pitch more than ever tonight, and he's got his 5th K.
Well, he's trying to rally to show his manager that maybe I got it back. Maybe I got that release point. I got my slider going. We're going to find out because in 2 hitters is Ohtani.
Stat Dave, he made his debut, Trey did, at Tampa Bay in a minor league stadium where the Rays are playing this year, and Dave was sitting right behind the dugout. John Schneider said it was like they were at a summer ball game listening to a dad. Here's a high fly ball to deep right center field. Straws back. Edge of the track gets there. He's Savage with a 1-2-3-4. We'll see if he's allowed to continue.
Look out, 'cause here I come.
Ready to lose weight? Think Wegovy.
Earlier today, as part of the MLB Together Fall Classic Legacy Initiative, Major League Baseball and the Blue Jays hosted a special event at Variety Village where funds are going to go towards their Challenger Baseball program. Go to MLBtogether.org to learn more. Bottom 4, Alejandro Kirk against Blake Snell. Took a first pitch curve for a strike. Snell has 17 consecutive scoreless innings. He's put up zeros in 23 of his 24 innings this postseason. The list of guys to have an ERA this low with this many strikeouts at this stage of the postseason is a tiny one. It's Sandy Koufax, Justin Verlander, Blake Snell, and you in 1996. What's it like to be in a zone like this?
As long as you don't get out of your mechanics, you feel like you're going to face anybody and make pitches, and it's the best feeling in the world. You want to keep going out and doing it. And the one thing about Blake Snell, I've already seen an adjustment with him staying back. He has that little crouch where his head can lean towards home plate a little bit. If he stays back, he's fine. But if he rushes, that's where the fastball command, he loses it. And when you're on a run like this, you want to just keep going.
First of a 5-year contract with the Dodgers. You're looking, it's been smooth sailing in the postseason, but it was anything but that to get to this point. This is what Blake says has been the hardest year of his career for a few different reasons. He missed a lot of the year with a shoulder injury. He was away for 4 months. Comes back in August. He makes 4 starts. They were pretty good. Then he gets sick, so sick that he passes out and has to spend overnight in the hospital. It was weeks before he felt like himself again. And he said, at this point, this is early September, I could find an excuse or I can go figure it out. Figure it out he has. His last 6 starts, end of the regular season into the playoffs, 5-0 with a 0.68.
Yeah, that's that's dealing.
And solving something that the Dodgers won the World Series despite not having much of last year. It was mostly bullpen with the Dodgers run to the World Series last year, but that's all been flipped around.
Well, they knew that they used their bullpen so much last year. They were going to have to go get a couple starters. They did. They relied on them, even though the regular season didn't work out that way health-wise. It has in the postseason.
8th pitch to Kirk. Swatted towards the right field corner. Hernandez turns and watches this one. Hit off the wall. Holds him to a single. Teoscar guns it in. And Kirk, who has many wonderful traits, speed is not one of them, settles for a leadoff single.
What an at-bat again. He just did not swing outside the zone and then finally was able to keep one fair.
Jays fans are saying, wait a minute, we watched you streak in from second to score that run in the championship series. What we got? Varsho in the air to center field. Pages going back, turns, watches, and it's gone and tied. Dalton Varsho locks game one. And John, it's one of the left-handers that bites him.
Yeah, he just guessed right. First pitch fastball, and he let it eat. That jacket has gotten a lot of use in the postseason. They hope it's going to extend well beyond what the stitching in that thing holds it apart. But that first pitch fastball, he just went and attacked. Straightaway center, no doubt about it.
And we got a new ball game. First home run that Blake Snell has given up to a left-handed hitter all season. Tied at 2 in game one. Ernie Clement sends the first one he sees into center field. Pages calls out Hernandez. Wow.
Now all the pitches that they were seeing, this is the first one on the first pitch. And that couldn't have been better timing. I thought the left-handers were going to have an extremely hard time against Blake Snell. Well, he said, I ain't waiting around to find out.
And a snapshot of this Blue Jays offense right there. Grindy out at bat where he couldn't put Alejandro Kirk away. And then the power. Strike one on Schraw. This ends a string of 5 consecutive games where the Dodgers gave up just 1 run. Straw to left center. Pages and Hernandez. It's Hernandez streaking by there to make the catch.
Well, besides the 2 runs being a very, very big inning, they clear the deck and start off with the top of the lineup if Jimenez doesn't get a hit here. And just as many times as you can get to the top of the lineup against Blake Snell and see him multiple times. Think about it. He goes 8 innings and the leadoff hitter might get 3 at-bats.
Ball on Andres Jimenez. And again, you go back to that first inning where you forced him to throw 29 pitches. Here comes his 70th already here in the 4th. Jimenez, who struck out his first time, fouls this off 1-1.
Yeah, we got Springer's going to have his 3rd at-bat here in the 5th inning. And they'll take that if you had said that was going to be the case.
Wave and a miss. Top of the order for the Dodgers, due up in the 5th inning. And Shohei's getting ready for it. Back in the Dodger batting cage. Mason Fluharty's ready to come in to face him. The 1-2 from Snell.
Oh, no.
I wouldn't think there'd be another fastball thrown to Jimenez here.
Slider to the corner to get him. Brand new ball game though in Toronto. It's Dalton Varsho off of the batter's eye in center field. 2-2, and we're back after a word from your local Fox station.
With Straight Talk's Real Unlimited data, say yes to unlimited.
Capital One, and the first World Series game here since Joe Carter's walk-off in '93. Top of the order for the Dodgers, Shohei Ohtani. Takes a strike from Mason Fluharty.
You got to stay out there. Don't leave anything middle in. The homers he hit off of left-handers are breaking balls that stay in and don't catch the outside part of the plate.
Fluharty, a rookie, gets a chase, 0-2.
That's what you got to do. And he's had more strikeouts this year than usual. Expand the zone way up or way out. And don't leave it middle in.
So Fluharty in this rookie season got one save. It was at Dodger Stadium back in August, and he struck out Ohtani as part of that. They're short on left-handed options out of that pen. The top one right here. Both of these bullpens concerns. 5.50 ERA for the Jays bullpen.
That's a great curveball right here that just tried to get him to bite.
The 1-2. Ohtani takes outside and the count evens. Ohtani's 0 for 2 in this ball game after his epic clincher in the championship series when he had about a quarter mile of home runs. Strike 3 to the knees. Fluharty strikes out Ohtani.
Well, you know he's coming in facing the great one. He got 2 quick strikes, and he's like, oh, man, now what? And threw 2 curveballs away out of the zone, and Ohtani thought that was low, and it might have been.
One gone in the 5th inning. Mookie Betts to the plate. Walked and scored his last time. Considering the stuff he had tonight, Trey Savage has to feel pretty good about this.
Oh my goodness, 4 hits, 3 walks, 5 strikeouts, and that 2 earned runs could have been 6. So he did a great job keeping his team in it. Tie game.
On 2-0, Betts takes a strike. We mentioned this earlier, the worst offensive season of Mookie Betts' career, but unprecedented what he did defensively. This is a guy who has won 6 Gold Gloves in right field. Moves to shortstop. Nobody's ever made that move. Not at this stage of his career. And no chance you can ever think of somebody doing it this well. One of the best defensive shortstops in baseball. His first year doing it since he was in high school.
Truly incredible.
On a 2-2 from Fluharty. Betts cranks one through, base hit center field. On for the second time. Well, if tonight's game ends like last year's game 1 did, that is in a walk-off, then Capital One will donate an additional $10,000 to the Jackie Robinson Foundation as part of the Capital One walk-off program. To date, Capital One has donated more than $1 million to the foundation to support its programs and initiatives, and that there is producing by Pete Macheska, because here comes the guy that hit that walk-off home run. Ties him up, but he lays off. Freddie gets a good cheer from this crowd as well. Both of Freddie's parents from Canada, and so he is a dual citizen of the United States and Canada. His dad, Fred, is from Windsor. His mother, Rosemary, was from Peterborough. Rosemary passed away of skin cancer when Freddie was 10, and he says that every time he comes here to play in Toronto, he says, I have this feeling that I'm just a little bit closer to Mom. Ouch. I found the bat, actually. Unless the bat has feelings, forget the ouch. 1-2.
I would love to know how many times that happens in a year. If you think about a ball hitting the knob of the bat versus the hands and the square inch that it would take, it's amazing how many times that happens.
1-2. Freeman fouls it off and stays alive.
Freddie Freeman owns the middle of the plate. The heart of the plate, he's hitting over 380. Where you can get him is fastballs up. I mean, he fights and he has the ability to get to all quadrants, but 95 and above miles per hour
above the zone is a struggle for him this year. It's about the only thing that he struggles. One of the great hitters of the generation. Another 1-2. Another foul, and here's Freddie in his own words.
Canada is special to me and my family, and both my parents were born and raised here in Canada. Every time I come back to Toronto, it just makes me feel a little bit closer to my mom, who passed when I was 10. So this is a special place for me and my family. My dad will be in the stand, so I'm looking forward to getting going.
And he's typically delivered for the folks here. .357 career average here. Stays alive. He says that he used to go to Blue Jays games when they would come and play in Anaheim, and he has this vivid memory when he was 7 or 8 years old, sitting there as the Canadian national anthem started to play, and he was just sitting in his seat, and he said, I got ripped out of my seat so fast, and my mom was glaring at me, you stand during the Canadian anthem. High fly ball to right center field. Varsho runs under it. He's there. Back to first goes Betts. 2 gone in the 5th.
Fluharty's got lucky in that one. I mean, it's a deep out, and he left a breaking ball middle of the plate to inside, and Freddie just missed a 2-run homer, and I think that might be it.
Yeah, just that 3-batter burst right there fulfills the 3-batter minimum that you have to face when you come out of the bullpen, and he's got a righty ready to go. Sir Anthony Dominguez coming on for Will Smith.
In honor of our veterans, raising
disseminated without express written consent.
All eyes turn to Big Noon for a make-or-break game for number 2 Indiana. First time in program history they've been ranked that high. UCLA's gotten things going. 3 straight wins. That all starts at Big Noon kickoff, 10 a.m. Eastern, live from Bloomington on Fox. It's Sir Anthony Dominguez, who had a 1-2-3 inning in Game 7, on for Will Smith. Smith swings at the first pitch and sends a lazy fly to right field. We are halfway home in Game 1 and tied at 2.
The big stuff. Who do you think you are? Mr. Big Stuff. You're never gonna get my love, Mr. Big Stuff. Tell me, just who do you think you are?
Lease the new 2025 Tiguan S for $279 a month. Limited inventory available.
Carne asada is back at Chipotle.
It's our best steak ever.
Fresh, no bad stuff.
With garlic,
cumin, coriander. It's super tender.
Juicy. People love it. And it's so good with our new red chimichurri. You're going to want to put it on everything. 10 out of 10 flavor.
Pharrell happy to perform pregame. Vladimir Guerrero, Hall of Famer, dad of Vlad Jr. in attendance. And Drake on his 39th birthday taken in the ball game. Springer takes ball 1. See you in LA, Kendrick. Hero from Game 7. Springer's over 1 for 2. They changed that ball in the second inning. First from the fielder's choice to an infield hit. 1 out of 2. One of the 6 hits the Jays have against Snell. Make it 7. His second. And they've been ready for that changeup.
Yeah, they're getting more aggressive. They felt out the first 4 innings, and then the last really 4 or 5 batters have been real aggressive early, more like the Toronto Blue Jays. And that changeup that they saw a lot of in LA that absolutely crushed them. And I think he struck out 10 Blue Jays. They've made the necessary adjustment. And right here, first pitch, watch out, Snyder, if he gets a fastball.
Yeah, Bush hitter. And then he settles in and goes patient, but he loves that first pitch. It was a curve that missed a little bit low. Well, Blake Snell's changeup, his first 3 games in the playoffs, opponents were 2 for 22 against it. Strikeouts in half of those at-bats. The Blue Jays are 5 for 10.
That's because his fastball in those other games was way better than his fastball tonight. That makes a difference. When his fastball command is off, the hitters don't have to respect the fastball as much, so they can sit on a pitch knowing that the fastball hasn't been pinpoint and he's not 0-1, 0-2 on hitters.
Here's 1-1 to Schneider in the dirt.
And the height of his fastball really makes his curveball that much better. But when the height of the fastball is not in that strike zone, that curveball, anything they see spinning that isn't in a defensive count with 2 strikes, they're going to spit on it. That's what makes, again, Toronto, they've done a great job not expanding the zone. Pitch count goes up.
Caught the outside corner there, 2-2. As good as the Dodgers starting staff has been, they have not seen a lineup quite like this. And I know Milwaukee statistically was similar the way they profiled, but it's just not the same. Not the same kind of punch either. Springer aboard to start this inning, and a 2-2 coming after a toss over there. George showed a bunch of bases during the regular season, but in the championship series last weekend, he got drilled in the knee by a fastball. It was 97 miles per hour, and not feeling the fastest right now. Pretty good lead. Schneider stays alive. Play Ball is baseball's global youth initiative to highlight the fun and accessible ways to play our great game. To learn more, including how to find a league near you, go to playball.org and follow @playball on social media. Another 2-2. Schneider on the ground left side. Muncy to second one. First double play. Second one the Dodgers have turned. And what a big spot to turn that in. Now you get Guerrero with the bases empty.
You are not kidding. That was a changeup that stayed up, but he pulls it to the third baseman. See how this changeup, and he gets on top of that. On top of that ball, goes right into the ground. And I'll tell you, Muncy delivered a strike. That's what helps turn that double play.
A little help from Freddie Freeman on the back end. And Guerrero, who has reached both times, a walk and a single, stands in a tie game. First one from Snap. Rip and a miss. A rare, very rare swing and a miss from Vlad. Twice as many hits as he has swings and misses in the playoffs. Oh, strike 2. Broken bat on a bounce to Tommy Edman from shallow center field. Double play ball helps Blake Snell face the minimum in the 5th and tied at 2.
Any questions?
How did you become the captain?
Haven't you heard? I'm the Wicked Witch of the West. Join with me. Help me fight the wizard.
Rated PG. In theaters November 21st.
Here we go.
Oh, man.
You won't believe where I am. You won't believe where I am.
T-Mobile now has the best network. How will you use it?
This is the farmer's dog turkey. This is also turkey. But only one is gently cooked to give your dog the nutrients they need without the ultra-processing. Get 50% off your first box only at thefarmersdog.com.
Career Scouting Report is sponsored by Indeed. John, break these two teams down phase by phase.
Yeah, starting rotation, you're going to give the edge to the Dodgers. Why wouldn't you? What they've dominated so far. And when the offense, you consider everything that the Blue Jays do, they get the check mark for offense. And the power goes to the Los Angeles Dodgers. They just do it better than anybody, starting with that guy. Defensively, Blue Jays are flawless. They play great defense. This one's the one you can make a little question mark, but I think the bulk and the amount of players that the Toronto Blue Jays will use out of the pen gives them a slight check mark, because LA wants to condense theirs.
Yeah, definitely does feel like that question mark, and the Dodgers just has not been really tested yet because the starters have gone so deep. You've got Blake Snell over 80 pitches, though, 5 innings into this game, and so the pen is going to play a larger role in this one. 5, 6, and 7 against Anthony Dominguez. Teoscar Hernandez 0 for 2 tonight. 1 ball, 1 strike. Now, there seems to be this sense that this is a lopsided matchup. Everybody thinks the Dodgers are going to roll in this series. Those people haven't watched a lot of the Blue Jays.
No, that perception can be reality if you're watching nothing but the Dodgers. You're going to feel that way, and you would have no reason not to. But the Toronto Blue Jays in this postseason have collectively 1 through 9, and just all the assets that they put forth are a tough out, and it's going to be a tough World Series for either team to win.
Hernandez on 2-1, swings through a center cut fastball. And these Jays seem to have something about them where they just kind of like being counted out. Not many people thought they'd be any good after they finished in last place. They were below 500 2 months in. Yankees pushed them down the stretch. They hung on to win the division. And then in the championship series, they lose the first 2 games at home. They fall down in game 7, but they just keep getting up and coming back at you. 2-2. Strike 3 with a pinpoint heater. This is the 5th matchup between one team coming off a sweep and one team coming off playing 7. The team that does the sweeping is 0-4 all time in the World Series.
Yeah, pretty crazy. You might think it's random, but it's crazy. You just think about the delay and the time off in between those series and the World Series, and the other team keeps playing for the most part. Lately, the off days have gotten a little bit more in this postseason, whereas in before it was a little closer. And so the Dodgers know how to deal with the days off. They've been there, done that, so that's not an excuse for them anymore, nor will it be.
Max Muncy, who bats right here, was talking to him about that before the game, and he said, look, it's not like any of us were red hot outside of what Ohtani did in that 4th game. So he said, it's not like there's a ton of rhythm we're losing. Had we all been feeling great and then have to take that week off, maybe a bigger concern. A pop-up, foul ground at third. Clement appears to have room and does. 2 out. Got a quick word from Capital One.
What's been the highlight of your career?
And that'd have to be
bank guy.
I've always been passionate about no fees or minimums on checking accounts.
What's in your wallet?
Here's Kike Hernandez.
The Toronto Blue Jays, I believe, come back more than anybody in baseball. So you talked about all that narrative. That doesn't sweat them. They've come back already in this game to tie it up, but they're used to being down.
Hernandez knocked in the first run for the Dodgers. Fouls that one into the glove for a strike.
This guy, he would just as soon say, yeah, let me take half the season off. Call me when we get to the postseason.
And they're probably not that far off from saying, all right, that is what they've got him for. Versatility in the regular season. And then postseason, Kike Hernandez. He is a .203 hitter in the regular season, .306 in these playoffs. And tonight ties Justin Turner for the franchise record games played in a Dodger uniform in the postseason. 86 tonight. Fastball just has all kinds of movement. Teeth. 1-2. For Anthony Dominguez. Struck out. Teoscar Hernandez looking. He gets Kike Hernandez swinging. Middle 6 tied up in game 1.
Ever
changed a tire before? Don't panic. I'm going to walk you through it step by step.
I just wanted to have...
Downstairs, the Blue Jays have gotten 5 hits on that pitch tonight. That's the most that Snell's given up on the changeup in his career. Bichette in his first game since September 6th. Tries to lay off the change and does. Ball 2.
Bichette's looking for that middle in that he hasn't seen. Everything's been in off the plate or away. That's why he's hit 2 balls to the right side of the infield. If he gets one middle in, he's looking to launch and pull.
2-0. 3-0.
Great patience for a guy who hasn't seen live action in a long time. Simulation games only can do so much. Tracking baseballs can only do so much. In-game live action. Trusting your mechanics.
We have a green light to try and break this tie. Pitcher's pitch, 3-1. Mark Pryor on the bullpen phone. Emmett Sheehan has grabbed the ball. 88 pitches for Snell. 103 his last game. Full count. It's Bichette, Kirk, and Varsho for the Blue Jays here in the 6th inning. Going to do the same thing they did in Game 7 of the championship series. Come back and win it. A leadoff walk for Bichette.
Well, when you want to see Snell, these are the hits that he's given up. And a lot of them on those changeup that you're talking about. There's the fastball, the one that's red right down the middle, but the other one's in the zone, and they did a great job. Some of them soft hit, some of them hard hit, but they have pushed Blake Snell to the limit, and probably his last inning at 90 pitches, and Bichette's going to get the old pinch run to job well done.
That'll improve a couple things here with Isaiah Kiner-Falefa coming in. Obviously the base running, but also the defense into the late innings. Alejandro Kirk. Go ahead run aboard for the Jays. Kirk bounces one through. Base hit right field. Kiner-Falefa stops at second. Kirk has been on all 3 times in this game. Go ahead run into scoring position.
We're going to get a mound visit. Another great piece of hitting from Kirk, but I wonder in this situation, even though he hit a home run, Varsho, I wonder if we see a bunt here. After a 2-run homer, could there be a situation where a guy bunts?
Well, Toronto is aggressive as any team when it comes to sacrificing. He does not have one this year. He has 5 in his career. Statcast powered by Google Cloud. His 2-run home run in the 4th inning, his 3rd of the playoffs.
There you have it, right down the middle. Perfect swing. Exit velocity almost 110. And that ball just peppered off the back wall.
Dalton Varsho, Gold Glove center fielder. But here in his 3rd season with the Blue Jays, he's added the offense to that as well. 20 home runs in less than half a season.
Now, if he's not bunting, which he probably won't, I wonder if you can go up there and sit on a breaking ball, because I don't know if you're going to get a first pitch fastball after what just happened.
Sheehan's ready. And Varsho, even though it's a tough lefty-lefty matchup, now 5 out of 10 against lefties in the playoffs. IKF at second, Kirk at first. Muncy in at third. There was a curve, but it wasn't close. Blue Jays instant pressure all postseason. 366 leading off. Oh, tied him up with a fastball, but it missed.
You know he's behind in the count. This has got to be a 2-0 slider.
It's a curve and it's dumped back.
Get him back in the count right there. 2-1 breaking ball. Yep. Varsho was ready for it. Ernie
Clement waits on deck. Sheehan's ready. 2 on, nobody out. A 2-1 from Blake Snell. Varsho swings and misses. 2-2. There was the slider.
That was a tight slider right there in the zone the whole time, but never really. Look at that tight spin. Just breaks away from the barrel of the bat. Try to guess as a hitter where you think that pitch is going to be.
Yeah, everybody standing. 2-2 on the way. Varsho fights it off. Fathers and sons, we know about Vlad and Bo Bichette. Dalton's dad, Gary, was in the big leagues. Named him after his old teammate and Darren Dalton. Another 2-2. In the dirt, and it's 4.
Well, this is more than likely going to be the last pitch for Blake Snell, unless he gets a double play ball here. So if you're Blake Snell, you're like, what pitch can I make perfectly here on a 3-2 count? Almost made it.
Pretty darn good.
Yeah.
Great job by Varsho to stay alive. Jays doing what the Jays do. Just so hard to put away. Blake Snell was getting misses on about half his swings in the postseason coming in. That's down to 20% tonight. Go ahead run at second, 6th inning. Another 3-2. Curve is drilled down the line. Foul. .100 pitch. Could be his last. Varsho paid the price. Or would have put him on anyways as ball 4. And the Jays have loaded the bases against Blake Snell with nobody out. That's the last pitch that Snell will throw. And a guy who is historically dominant the first 3 starts of this postseason meets a different kind of match tonight. The Dodger bullpen forced into this game earlier than they're used to this October. Game on the line here in the 6th.
Only the ServiceNow platform connects.
Emmett Sheehan for Ernie Clement. Tie game, bases loaded, nobody out. Chopper foul. Had to get that out of the way. You knew Ernie was going to be swinging.
Absolutely. And Emmett Sheehan, he throws 100. I mean, the ball comes out of his hand and explodes. Started him off with a first pitch slider. These are the situations I say a ground ball to short is a double play, but it's a run. Making contact is what Toronto does well.
Middle infield back, corners even with the bags. Clement starts his run through. Blue Jays take the lead. Station to station, 3-2. Ernie Clement delivers again.
There's just something different about this team when runners get on. Hyper-focused, yeah. Committed to their plan, yeah. But making contact and taking advantage of pitches that don't break out of the zone. Doesn't mean they're going to go on and win the series, but everybody who thought that this was going to be a fairly easy series for the Los Angeles Dodgers, you're getting an example of why it won't be.
And the biggest key, go back to what we talked about at the beginning, will be for the Blue Jays to get into this pen. With a 29-pitch first inning where they did not score, they got the ball rolling. I'm getting that pitch count up. Snell leaves the game with nobody out in the 5th inning. And our pinch hitter is going to go up there for Miles Straw. This is Nathan Lucas.
You wonder how decisions are made and how decisions based on situations change. And the Dodgers were a moment away from kind of blowing this game open. They could have at any point, but because they only scored 2, it allowed John Snyder to use his pen and this lineup to stay in the game. And now they're a hit away from getting some serious breathing room.
And the Jays like what they have coming off of the bench with a righty in the game now. Lucas, normally their 2-hitter. Swings and misses at a good slider. .333 in the postseason. One of the breakout stars this year, out of the middle of nowhere, Lucas. On an 0-1. Fouls it into the glove. Fastball at life.
Yeah. Now same approach here. Again, a ground ball minus to the third baseman will score another run. Kirk's going to have to get a bigger lead than he's getting at third base, though.
Here's an 0-2.
That lead at third, if they hit a ball hard to an infielder, they could throw him home, throw it out at home, rather than trying to turn a double play. With Muncy that far off the bag, he has to at least get the distance between third and Muncy's distance.
You're saying even the middle infielders could come home?
Absolutely, if he hits it hard enough, because of the lack of speed out of Kirk.
Another 2-strike pitch. Lucas leaves it up.
And at this point, runs are a premium, even though the Dodgers know that 2 runs or less, they're well within the game, and their strike offense with power can get them right back in it.
Kirk at third, Varsho at second, Clement at first. Sheehan's 1-2 pitch. Almost hit him. Lucas ducked that knee down there. Lucas pinch hitting for Straw. The 2-2. His bat to ball lineup. He has the highest contact rate of any of them. Nathan Lucas spent a decade in the minor leagues. Said he was this close to hanging it up. 31 years old, getting his first real shot this year. Bases loaded, nobody out. Another 2-2 pitch.
Well, based on the way that he's attacked the first 2 hitters, look for this 3-2 pitch to be a slider, I would think. Fastball command not great, hasn't thrown as many fastballs. Looks like he trusts his slider.
Fastball popped up. Muncy over. Game 2, same time, same place. Kevin Gausman for the Blue Jays, Yoshinobu Yamamoto for the Dodgers.
There have been 28 foul balls by the Toronto Blue Jays. If you don't think those add up, they do. You see a lot more pitches.
Now another 3-2. He's walked in, and it's 4-2 Toronto. Kirk can walk home.
And he's glad he's walking home. Wasn't that 0-2? Yeah. 0-2, bases loaded, and a walk. I'd say that's one of the highest quality at bats Lucas will ever have under these circumstances.
Infield is in here. Jimenez is up. Rakes it foul. So the Blue Jays have scored 4 unanswered, tying the game on Varsho's home run in the 4th, taking the lead here in the 6th. 2 hits, 2 walks, and a hit batter. Top of the order after Jimenez. He's down 0-2.
So you're saying they got him right where he wants him.
When they were down 2-0, they had him right where they wanted him, right? The way this has gone for these Blue Jays, these 2 teams tied for the most comeback wins in baseball this year. And it's Sheehan's 0-2. Sheehan did not pitch during the championship series. Dave Roberts only had to use 4 relievers. This pen has been covered up by the long starts. Base hit feet apiece. 5-2 Blue Jays. Bottom of the order, telling the story once again.
They're tough at home. The splitter there just hung in the zone. They're tough with runners on. And if you talk to their manager, they're tough, period.
Six straight base runners to start this inning for the Blue Jays. 4 of those 6 had 2 strikes on them.
0-2, he had him where he wanted him. This kill pitch has been hard for these Dodger pitchers to put the hitters away.
And now with the bases loaded, they've got Mr. Postseason coming up here. George Springer, Manny Ramirez, Jose Altuve, and then with 23 home runs, George Springer, 3rd on the all-time list.
Well, he is loving these situations. He's super aggressive. First pitch, he hasn't had really one to kind of crank on, and I'm sure that mound visit was a reminder of, hey, look, make a quality pitch, you can get a ground ball, but if you don't, he's going to be ready to swing on the first pitch.
3 of his 4 home runs in this postseason have come on the first pitch. Bouncing ball left side. Betts had a hard time getting it out of his glove, but he does in time to come home for the first out of the inning mercifully on the 7th batter faced.
And he did. He made a good pitch and got the ground ball. I mean, that's what's possible against this team, but you've got to execute. And that little bobble might have cost a possible double play.
So Betts with a nice play. Another pinch hitter's coming up here. John Schneider sends up Addison Barger. And on a team full of guys feeling good, he's right up near the top of the list. 353 with 2 home runs his last 5 games.
If you want to see a hard swing, and we're going to have to wait to see it, this guy can swing hard.
Or they get cheated. They call him Bam Bam. Bam Bam's going to face Jack Drive. 5-2. The Blue Jays have broken the tie with 3 runs here in the 6th. It's actually Anthony Banda in for the Dodgers to face the pinch hitter Barger. Lays off ball 1.
Here's what Barger wants to do, knowing who's on deck. Fly ball, and even a strikeout's not the worst thing in the world. You just don't want to hit a ground ball double play. And he knows that. He's going to try to lift the ball and keep it off the ground so he can at least guarantee Guerrero up.
Fouls off that high fastball. Down to Tom Verducci.
Dodgers, as you know, Joe, the top swing and miss team in the National League this year. This inning alone, 15 pitches thrown with 2 strikes, no swings and misses, all runners reached base.
Barger ahead 2-1. The bullpen depth lacking for the Dodgers. And they go to Sheehan, who hadn't pitched since the division series. Gave up a run in all 3 games that he pitched in the division series. Comes in here, struggles. Barger sends a towering drive, right center field. Kiss it goodbye. Barger has connected on a grand slam to break open game 1 and start this place shaking.
Well, he hit a fly ball, and he guaranteed his teammate was going to come up, but I didn't see a situation where his teammate might come up with nobody on. And that grand slam, wow. I mean, this is a high breaking ball, and we talked about him. You want to see a hard swing? That was a hard swing.
Guy that he pinch hit for. All right. And if you're unfamiliar with the Blue Jays, just learning about them today, just watch this 6th inning. Watch the bottom of the order set the table. Watch guys come off of the bench and deliver. Watch pesky 2-strike hitting. And then watch power hitting. It's all rolled in together. It is the Blue Jays who have put 9 runs on a Dodgers staff that gave up 4 in the entire championship series. They've batted around. Into shallow center field. Here comes Pages. That's down.
And we saw a little bit of this against the Yankees, their ability to explode and get the crooked number. One swing got a crooked number in the 4 spot. This obviously is not going to change who the Dodgers are, but it does change the narrative of how dominant the Dodgers have been. It's only game 1, and there's 3 more innings for them to bat, but this is what you wanted if you're Toronto and you're a Toronto fan, to at least show we're pretty good and we can score. Can we defend the great offense that the Dodgers have?
9 runs on 12 hits for the Blue Jays. Kiner-Falefa sends a fly to left field. Kike Hernandez. Kiner-Falefa, who came in as a pinch runner earlier in this inning, gets an at-bat in the same inning. And now it's Kirk, who had a single, it seems like forever ago. Perfect night going for the Blue Jay catcher. 2 singles and a walk, 2 runs scored. The Blue Jays have as many hits as they have swings and misses.
Yeah, it's incredible. This guy fits the mold so well, though. You know, underrated, maybe undersized. And there's your first pinch hit grand slam in World Series history. Wow.
Here's a high drive off of the bat of Kirk, sailing back there to center. Does it have enough? You bet. Double digits for the Jays in game 1. What a statement from Toronto.
Like I said, he's the perfect guy to talk about what the Toronto Blue Jays kind of do. You walk off the bus, you go, ah. He's like,
he said, I'm going to need a tailor for this. A 9 spot.
I don't remember too many 9 spots in a World Series, I can tell you that.
Fly to shallow left field. I mean, this is mind-blowing right here. A Dodger pitching staff that gave up 4 runs in 4 games gives up 9 runs in 1 inning. Addison Barger has his place in history with a pinch hit grand slam in the Fall Classic. They've been waiting 32 years for this. Oh my gosh, they're saying tears are flowing in game 1 in Toronto. We're back after a local word from your local Fox station.
No one knows what it's like to be the bad man.
As Braden Fisher comes in, faces Tommy Edman, misses in with his first pitch. A 9-run bottom of the 6th for the Blue Jays. That's the 3rd most runs in an inning in World Series history. Tigers did it in 1968. They had 10. And in 1929, in the greatest comeback in postseason history, Connie Mack's A's scored 10 runs in the bottom of the 8th inning to win a game against the Cubs, 10-8. 3-0 on Tommy Edman. Well, with all the pinch hitting and pinch running, some defensive changes for you. Lucas and Barger, the new corner outfielders, and Connor Falefa is in at second for Bichette.
That was not a good 2-0 pitch. With a 9.9 run lead to throw a 2-0 breaking ball.
How about a 4-pitch walk?
Yeah, that's not going to get your manager in a good mood because there's no reason for that.
T-Mobile, the best network in the game, is now the best network in America.
You get a 9-run lead, you got to make them hit the ball all over the ballpark to get on base.
Pages is 0 for 2. Braden Fisher, former Dodger minor leaguer. Well, the fathers and sons here in Toronto. They also had Kevin Biggio, who was traded to the Dodgers, and the return in that trade was Braden Fisher. 7-0 as a rookie this year. Big righty's 0-1 to Pages. He is upstairs, 1-1. The 9-run lead also really for both sides at this point helps you go to the underbelly of your bullpen. Reserve the top arms for game 2 tomorrow. Yeah, the Jays had to come into these 2 games saying we got to take one of the 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, they look like they're on their way to doing that.
Yeah, they protect home. I mean, I know they didn't do it against Seattle, losing the first 2, and then they came back and won the final 2.
'94 wins this year, first division title in a decade. Getting to the postseason was only part of it, though. They've done that. They just hadn't won in the postseason anytime recently. Strike 3 on Pages. In fact, it's their 4th postseason trip in the last 6 years, but they hadn't won a postseason game in a decade. They had lost 6 consecutive playoff games. Wild card round sweeps, 3 straight trips. Chris Bassett getting ready. So the first thing was just getting that monkey off of the back, winning 1. Bullied the Yankees in the division series. 7 games over the Mariners and a blowout to this point in game 1 of the World Series against Ohtani and the Dodgers. Shohei in this game 0 for 3 and has struck out twice.
They're going to see someone equally as nasty from the right side tomorrow with the Dodgers, Yamamoto. So what they did to Snell, they're going to try to do to the great righty.
Well, you figured if the Jays were going to win this game, they'd get a really good start from Trey Savage, but they're looking at doing this even though Savage had far from his best stuff and only went 4.
Correct. And again, like you mentioned, the lead in the game really takes some stress off of managing some high leverage guys. They brought in some of those that held fort. Now they got some breathing room.
Fisher to Ohtani with a 1-2. Shohei sends his apologies down the line to anybody that foul ball scared.
Really got to be careful with the amount of breaking balls that he's showing Ohtani in the middle of the zone. It cannot stay there. It's got to go to the back foot and down.
Left it there, hit in the air to right field. Back it goes. It's gone. Yeah. Sky scraping home run from Shohei Ohtani. Left it over the plate, and Ohtani didn't miss.
Just can't do that to a great hitter.
That's the fastest run around the bases I've ever seen. Right on the heels of Tommy Edman. 4th home run the last 2 games for Ohtani, and it's 11-4.
But just see it coming, and it rolled right there perfectly for him, and that swing has been done a lot this year. Is that over 60 now?
That is 61.
Okay. Well,
Now it's a 7-run lead. And we talk about easy decisions for John Schneider in the bullpen. Probably doesn't have to get a whole lot closer before that shifts the strategy. Although even seeing Chris Bassett, that's a guy wouldn't you put in the bucket of higher leverage, even though it's only been a couple times? Or is he still
yes and no, just because of the lack of times he's been out there. And this would be a good chance to get him in there. And then you can use him as the series goes longer. If it does, you can use him in the back end and just feel more comfortable with his reps.
Still a good chance to kind of validate what you've seen so far. Converted starter is awesome in Game 7 out of the pen. That's one around, 2 out.
There's the difference. You got to get that breaking ball down below the zone. When you show these great hitters the same pitch over and over and over again, if you don't make this kind of pitch right here, success rate's not very good.
Freddie Freeman has a walk in this game, but is 0 for 2. Pitching staff that have been untouchable breaks in a big way in this game, and an offense that has not really clicked. Still had it. Look at the home run from Ohtani on a meatball. But this offense has averaged just over 3 runs per game since the start of the division series.
I'm just amazed that guys that have a 97-mile-an-hour pitch, it's a show pitch. Because the numbers say, oh, you got to spin it, throw your breaking ball, throw your cutter, throw your slider. He's got 97.
Yeah, keep him honest. And everybody that comes in seems to have it. All in. One-two Freeman climbs the ladder to get to that. In right center field, Barger to finish off the top of the 7th. Ohtani goes deep, but the Jays still with a bunch of breathing room as we stretch.
It's the dog park with all the dogs there.
By T-Mobile, now the best network in America. And by Progressive. Progressive is helping veterans drive their lives forward with its Keys to Progress program.
You want to go up there tomorrow?
Not really. Not a big heights guy. Ernie Clement takes a strike from Justin Robleski. Robleski makes his postseason debut here. Alex Vesia, who is a key piece of the Dodger bullpen, certainly the top left-hander down there, is away from the team for this World Series for a personal family matter. And so Robleski gets his shot. Ernie Clement having done it again. 2 more hits today. His average for the postseason up near 500. Digs it out to center field for Pages. One away in the 7th, and time for Fox Foresight, powered by Google Cloud. 8 different guys have a base hit in this game for the Blue Jays, and Google Cloud has given them 26% chance to make it 9. We had all 9 guys in Game 7 of the championship series get a base hit. And Google Cloud powers these insights built with Gemini.
So you're saying this guy would be 9?
He would. I was looking through trying to figure out who that may be. Lucas doesn't have a hit.
He's pinch hitting for Miles Straw, and he didn't have a hit.
Schneider didn't have a hit. He's out.
So this is the guy.
This has got to be the guy. IKF. Bouncing ball to third. He's got good wheels. Close play, but once he gets him. Well, for a semblance of optimism, Dodger historians will look to the 1959 World Series, the first that they won in Los Angeles when they dropped the first game to the White Sox 11-0. Came back and won that series in 6 games.
I still can't believe over the stat we just threw out there so nonchalantly. It's still 1-11 on the road
in game 1 of the World Series, and it took Sandy Koufax to get him the 1 win.
That doesn't even seem possible.
You know, the fact that this series begins here in Toronto is only because of a game on a Sunday afternoon in August. These teams met up. Dodgers won the first 2 games. Blue Jays came back to win it late. 94 wins to the Dodgers 93. That seemingly meaningless Sunday afternoon ball game decided home field advantage in this World Series. 3-1 on Jimenez.
Hopefully we'll get to see Sandy Koufax maybe in one of the games. Go back west.
3, 4, and 5 would be in LA.
Oh, Rick.
That was so close.
Rick.
Flashing back to 1963 and those Yankees loaded lineups. Koufax and Drysdale and Padres shut him down in a 4-game sweep.
And watch this ending. Watch this. Oh, shucks. Okay, game over. Oh, we didn't see the rest of it.
This is what I do.
Just going to walk off.
Koufax won game 4 as well. And that 63 Fall Classic. Prior to the championship series sweep over the Brewers, that was the only sweep of a 7-game series in Dodger franchise history. To the second, and Tommy Edman. And Justin Robleski in his postseason debut has a 1-2-3 7th inning. All Blue Jays with 11 consecutive runs. Big swings from Varsho and Alejandro Kirk and Edison Barger. 11-4 after 7 in game 1.
Can't take this feeling like I'm on so high. I got no doubt this life ain't got no ceiling like
that. Find your postseason game day fit now at MLBshop.com.
36-year-old Chris Bassett, who missed the last couple weeks with a back injury, is a staple to the starting rotation, but has worked out the pen in these playoffs and was pretty darn impressive with a scoreless 8th inning in game 7 the other night.
Arms, legs, change of velocity, change, spin. He does it all. And he just wants to mess up the timing. There's the slow breaking ball, and he'll throw an even slower.
More pitches 75 and below than anybody in baseball. It's a guy that his manager John Schneider says does weird well. Weird works. There's 0-2 to Will Smith. Fortifying this pen. The bullpen in game 7. Just 1 run over 5 1/3. They got some help from Kevin Gausman there, but certainly if Bassett can emerge as a key piece, that changes things. Bounced off of the plate to first. Guerrero with an easy one for the first out of the 8th.
Want some MLB trivia? Just ask Siri. What team has the most World Series titles?
That'd be the Yankees, who the Blue Jays dispatched in the first round of these playoffs. Teoscar Hernandez here with 1 gone in the 8th. Dodgers try to win their 9th, and it appears it'll be in comeback fashion if they're to do it. Jays looking for their first since their back-to-back titles in 1992 and 93. And trying to make the Yankees hold up as the last team to win back-to-back titles. 3 in a row, 98 to 2000. 4 and 5 years. I won't go any farther than that.
We started it for him.
1-2 on Teoscar Hernandez.
Matter of fact, Blue Jays are the last team, or the first team to do it since the Yankees when they lose their first 2 games at home and come back and win a series.
Yeah, that had only happened 3 times out of the 28 times that the home team had dropped the first 2 games of a home series. Down 2-0 to come back and win it, having lost home field advantage. Chris Bassett out of a small town in Ohio. Former Akron Zip. Home with a 1-2 pitch. Pop fly, right side and out of play. And Blue Jays fans, I don't think are surprised seeing this. We're not surprised. We've been here all month watching these guys, but I think a lot of people around baseball are probably saying, whoa, what happened tonight?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, perfect scenario for Toronto is you got the layoff for LA. They were super dominant. You got the starting pitching on a roll. And the Blue Jays offense, like, we'll take on anybody. We've taken on some really good starting pitching so far. What's the difference? And they're proving there is no difference at this point. It's only game 1. But when you look at the on paper, and that's the beauty of on paper, it looks great on paper. You got to go out and execute. And they did. And they executed a perfect game plan against a great pitcher in Blake Snell.
They've got their ace going tomorrow, Kevin Gausman, who, why didn't he start game 1? Well, the relief appearance that he made in game 7 on Monday, he said he was still feeling the effects of that. He wanted to get that extra day in. So Gausman in game 2 and Yamamoto on the other side before the series shifts to LA. Game 3 will be Monday there.
Yeah, the Dodgers had the Savage on the ropes, and although they got the 2 runs, as we look at the matchup for tomorrow, they could have gotten some more and would change the dynamic of this game.
Yamamoto's coming off the first complete game in the postseason in 7 years, back to Justin Verlander in 2018. Gausman, 3 starts in the playoffs, almost identical lines in the 3 of them, 5 2/3 each time. He's not been able to get through that 6th. Strike 1 on Max Muncy.
I don't even know why they have seats in the lower bowl, because absolutely nobody sits on the what I've seen.
This is the #1 home field advantage in the majors this year. They're 54 and 27 at home. I've told a few people Monday night on that Springer home run is the loudest building I've ever been.
Yeah, I agree.
You pitched here in the World Series.
I thought the Minneapolis Dome was the loudest I'd ever heard at that time in 1991, of course, Game 7. But this one kind of trumped it. I mean,
this was even louder?
Oh, yeah.
92?
Oh, yeah. Now, a little different point of view from where I'm hearing the noise.
That's true.
In the booth versus on the field.
That series ended. This is the anniversary of that, with you as the pinch runner at third base.
Yeah, in 1992. I was at third base with 2 outs, and Otis Nixon was at the plate, and I was as scared as you've ever been because our third base coach said you got to beat the throw to home because he's going to bunt off of Timlin. Well, he bunted, but he never got the throw to home. It was the throw to first, and tough way to end another one of our postseasons. But Blue Jays went on to have a historic ending the following year, the next year.
Louis Varland's up in that Jays pen as a 2-2 comes home from Bassett to Muncy. Yeah, and swinging at that looping curve. Here it is.
Oh, boy.
Man, you look fast.
I'm nervous now.
Did you run so fast, though?
Oh, I was flying. I was prepared to run him over. Come on, Joe. You did that the next year, too.
Yeah, that's right. Touched them all. That was the last World Series game played here. Game 6, 32 years ago. Kike Hernandez with 2 gone in this 8th inning. I know you've been communicating with Joe. He seems invested in this Blue Jays run.
Oh, he is. He talks about putting the ball in play and well, look what you can do when you put the ball in play. And you know, that's not the model for baseball over this course of the season. It's more swing and miss, homers and homers and homers. Well, they do both without the swing and miss, and that's why they're here.
Joe is a part of those Whamco lineups. White, Alomar, Molitor, Carter, Olerud. That 93 team had the top 3 hitters for average in the league. Olerud, Molitor, and Alomar.
He didn't tell me this, but if I'm him, I'm probably thinking, come on, Blue Jays, get back there so we can bring back those memories.
That's right. Wake up the echoes. Would not be surprised to see Joe make an appearance here at some point in this series.
Tee it.
Hernandez down swinging. And the Blue Jays and their fans who have waited. He probably wasn't even alive in '93. Loving it. He was. She was. No matter when they were born or where they're from, they're having a blast in here tonight in Blue Jays colors.
This is Judy and Pedro. They just bought their first home and are learning
more than an SUV. It's your tour guide and your boxing ring. It's your dugout and your safety check. It's your bedtime. Your big time. And your makeout booth, too. It's more than an SUV. It's your Equinox. Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
Top of the order for the Blue Jays. George Springer comes out of the batter's box swinging. As Will Klein comes on to pitch for the Dodgers. His first postseason game for him, just activated on this World Series roster. Only pitched in a handful of games during the regular season. 2.35 ERA over those 15 innings of work. Yeah, it looks to cover up the final 3 outs of this game. 11-4, the Blue Jays in front, and the strength of a 9-run 6th.
Only 4 home runs in all the postseason games the Dodgers played, given up. Tonight, 3. Huge.
Springer sends a fly ball to left center field. Kike Hernandez is there for the first out. Wear the gear that makes champions. Check out the largest collection of authentic gear. Dugout to doorstep. Grab official World Series gear just like the players were at MLBshop.com. Cito Gaston, who is the manager of the championship teams in '92 and '93. Ceremonial first pitch. And a guy that tries to join him as a World Series winning manager in Toronto, and John Schneider caught the first pitch. Great hand for Addison Barger. The pinch hit grand slam his last time. Down to Ken Rosenthal.
Joe, believe it or not, Addison Barger was small growing up. He told me he was 5'1", maybe 100 pounds as a sophomore in high school.
Go into the base hit here, Ken. Go ahead.
By the time he was a junior, he was 8 inches taller. So the Jays drafted him in the 6th round of the 2018 draft. He was still slightly built. So during COVID, he devoted his time off to getting bigger and developing more power. Listen to this. He went from 155 going into the spring of 2019 to 220 going into the spring of 2021. And now, guys, they call him Bam Bam.
That's 70 pounds in a short time. Strikeout Vlad Jr. Addison, the youngest of 3. They all like playing baseball, so their dad built him a field outside their house in Florida. Oh, ouch. They were born in Seattle. We were talking about that during the championship series, but then moved to Florida when he was 5 years old, and they had this big, sprawling property. And after a short time there, Dad brought in a real, actual crew to make this amazing baseball field that they practiced on every day. He homeschooled, and so it was baseball training for a lot of his life out there. House was beyond the left field wall. He was a switch hitter and hit the house one too many times, so he had to take his hitting off of the field into the cage that they had, but did all his fielding work out there. Can you imagine that? Your own field of dreams, looking out your back door. Gunnar Henderson of the Baltimore Orioles had the same thing growing up in Alabama. Here's a back-spinning fly ball to right center field. Paje says that he has it and does. And now we get a quick word from Loan Depot.
Rates are dropping. Now may be the best time to buy a new home or refinance. Check out the site now to see how Loan Depot can help. But seriously, this is only a 10-second ad, so you should get started now.
All the Little League dads are getting on the internet, looking up places they can call to build fields for their kids out back. 2 out, Isaiah Kiner-Falefa. He's one of the hopes to fulfill the Google Cloud thing.
Yes, right.
9th guy with a hit. Off of the bench, pinch ran for Bo Bichette and flied out.
It's down to 8% though.
Yeah, it's dwindling. Kiner-Falefa, who signed a 2-year contract with the Blue Jays before last year, and then they traded him away, but got him back a year later from Pittsburgh. Your team, your players, baseball your way. Follow all the World Series action in the app. #1 app for live baseball. Talk about the bottom of the order getting things started today. It was the bottom of the order that set up Springer's home run in Game 7. Kiner-Falefa had a single in that inning. Blooper, left center. Hernandez is there. And that does it for the Jays in the 8th.
What do you do when things...
For our all-star crew. Started by Kevin Burkhardt, Alex Rodriguez, Big Papi, and Derek Jeter, presented by Strauss. 9 for the Jays in the 6th. You get 9 runs in a game, you're going to win 100 times out of 101. 11-4 in Game 1 as Chris Bassett looks to finish it off, and on one pitch gets pop-up here. Kirk with room. Edman retired like that. I said Bassett, it's actually Eric Lauer that is coming to the game for the Blue Jays. Left-hander, another guy that was a starter for a good chunk of the regular season. And one of the few left-handed options they have down there.
Pretty good record there, 9-2.
Pajes.
Magic number 5 is typically what you hear about the Toronto Blue Jays. You get to 5, I think they only have 4 losses on the year.
They got to 11. Coming into this postseason, they had 4 double-digit scoring efforts in their postseason history. This is the 4th time in their 12 games this October that they've scored double digits. 11 runs on 14 hits, 3 of those home runs. Ball 2 on Pajes.
This game started similar to the Game 1 against the Seattle Mariners, where they looked a little rusty early, hadn't scored any runs, and didn't score many at all in that game against the Mariners. In fact, the first 2 games did not.
Pajes into right, hangs up for Barger. 2 gone in the 9th.
But then they got it going on the road, and when they get it going, they can go.
One of the lone bright spots of this game, Ohtani's 6th home run of the postseason. They merely made it a little bit closer, but inconsequential. Get into this this as the series goes on, but part of the reason for the boos for Ohtani is that they were pretty sure they were getting him.
Oh, yeah.
And down to these two. Flowers 0-1. Ohtani takes the ball. We don't need him is the chant. What's interesting is the offer was right around what the Dodgers made, $700 million. If that deal happens, chances are Vlad Jr. doesn't. $500 million that they wanted to spend on Ohtani went into that man's pocket. It was the first sprinkle of magic in this 2025 campaign. Walk for Ohtani. And it brings up Betts. They said Shohei gathered all the gear that they had laid out. They put together a little locker for him at the team facility on his official visit. And they're watching out the window as he leaves. And his dog's got the Blue Jays dog jacket on. He's got a bag full of Jays stuff, a hat, and a jersey. And they're thinking, oh my gosh, he really dug it. And John Schneider's joked with him in the last year. We haven't seen him. Hey, when are you going to give us our stuff back? Well, you don't get to keep that Jays hat. Painting was a gift. I'm taking it with me. Oh, it's close to a pickoff. Now, Babe Ruth was once caught stealing to end a World Series. In the modern day version, pretty darn close. They're going to challenge.
Ball at first base.
This one would be a little more forgivable than Babe getting caught stealing second. Game 7. Replay review presented by Zoom. Really close. Call on the field is that he is safe. Do we get an overturned call and a pickoff to end game 1? Why not, says John Schneider. He took our hat. We're going to try to take the game. Game 4 of the World Series in 2013. Colton Wall was picked off. And Ohtani will not join that reel. He's safe. It was close, and he knows it.
It was just a good move. He wasn't trying to do anything. Matter of fact, he kind of stepped back and thought he was going home and then came to first.
0-1 on Mookie Betts. Hitting a walk in this game for Betts with a run scored. Run that he scored in the 3rd inning made it 2-0 LA. 11 straight for Toronto. One and two. Get ready for the splitter tomorrow. Kevin Gausman, Yoshinobu Yamamoto. Two guys that throw it as much as anybody.
Nasty ones.
Pitch of the playoffs. Dodgers familiar with Kevin Gausman from his days in the division with the San Francisco Giants. Yamamoto did not pitch in that series in August. Two to Betts. On the hands and out of play. Only 4 innings from Trey Savage in this game. Grinded through it, held him to 2 runs. Fluharty, Dominguez, Fisher, Bassett, Lauer to finish it. Statement made by the Jays in game 1. They pull 11 on this dominant pitching staff.
A lot went right. They got their superstar Bichette in the game for 6 innings. He contributed. There you see the stats on a sweep versus 7 games series.
Well, we mentioned that the 4 times that one team swept a series and the other played 7 met head-to-head in the World Series. The team that did the sweep 0-4 in the World Series. Not just 0-4 in the World Series. They've only won 2 games total in those 4 World Series. John Schneider's team just keeps on going. 11-4 over the Dodgers in game 1 of the World Series. First World Series game in Canada in 3 decades. And they did not disappoint.
All around great day. What a great start. National anthems that were sung. Electricity in the stadium. It was dimmed there for a little bit, 2-0, and then it went crazy.
Started with Varsho's home run that tied it, and then the 9-run explosion in the 6th inning. Dodgers now 1-12 in World Series game 1s on the road in their franchise's history. So if they're to repeat as champions, it'll be in comeback fashion this year. Down to the field we go. Ken Rosenthal. In a moment. As much as I love Ken, we're going to do Tom Verducci first.
Oh, thanks, Joe. Ernie Clement, I want you to describe for me what happened in the 6th inning. 12 batters came to the plate against 3 different pitchers. 9 runs scored. No swings and misses on 2 strike counts.
Yeah, I mean, that's the epitome of our offense. It's a collective effort and everybody just doing their job.
Tell me about the atmosphere here tonight. These people have waited 32 years to watch a World Series game. You have the best home field advantage record in baseball this year. How much of a factor was that tonight?
Yeah, it's been special. You know, they bring it every night. It's the last few months, honestly, they've been selling this place out and giving us a ton of energy. So we're lucky to have these fans.
It's a 7-game series. You're out in front with Kevin Gausman taking the ball in game 2. How do you like your position?
Yeah, that's the guy we want on the bump. We just got to keep rolling.
Thanks so much, Ernie.
All right, Tom. Thank you.
Back to you, Joe.
Many swings, few words. Ernie Clement. Guys getting ready for the post-game show. All Blue Jays in game 1, 11-4. Taking down the defending champ. After the break, the Strauss postgame. Kevin Burkhardt and the guys take over. Recap game 1. Get you set for game 2. Yamamoto for the Dodgers. Gausman for the Jays.
One goes to the Blue Jays, an explosion, a 9-run 6th inning, and these fans waited 32 years to be back in the World Series, and boy, was it worth the wait. 3 home runs, offense, everybody contributing in this one. Kurt, a big day, 3 hits and a home run, and guess what? One of the heroes tonight joining us right off the bat as Addison Barger will sit down. A big part, obviously, of that monster inning with a pinch hit grand slam, the first in World Series history. And welcome to the post-game show. Jump right in. And Addison joins us. Great to see you. That was one of the coolest things ever for us watching it. What did it feel like for the guy doing it, that Grand Slam?
I mean, to be honest with you, I don't even remember. It was so hard to just kind of gather my thoughts and everything. You know, it's just like a blackout moment. You know, it's crazy.
So Addison, take me to the mindset. You don't start the game because a lefty's on the mound. Then you come in and pinch hit to only face a lefty and hit the first Grand Slam pinch hit in the history of that. Tell me about your mindset. What were you thinking?
Honestly, I was just like, I was choking up a little bit and just trying to put the ball in the air, get a run in that situation. I mean, I know it's a tough at bat left on left, but the goal was just put the barrel on the ball, hopefully get in the air, get a run in.
Love it.
Allison, congratulations on the bomb that you hit tonight. Man, World Series in Canada. First time in a long time. Tell me what is going on in the clubhouse. How is the motivation is going on in the clubhouse, especially with all those young guys that you guys have in the ball club?
I mean, we just have such a tight, energetic group. Every day we're having fun in there. We're not taking it too serious. We understand we're playing the Dodgers and they're a great team, but we're trying to keep everything the same and just go out and compete like we have all year.
I tell you what, I've marveled at you guys' approach at the plate. I mean, it's pretty impressive to watch. How much pride do you guys take in contact, two-strike approach, putting the ball in play?
Yeah, I mean, I don't really know how this has all happened and why our team is the way we are. I don't know if it's we have a great set of hitting coaches that are super supportive and awesome, but I think we're just trying to play baseball, play baseball the right way, get guys over. That was kind of taught, they were kind of hammering on that in spring training, like base running and situational hitting. And I think that's a big key to us.
Addison, we're talking about how well your team is built. You guys have a college atmosphere feel to it, at least from the outside. Your starting pitcher, you Savage, starts in Dunedin, A-ball. You start in Buffalo, and you both are here doing great things. As you're here, what are you thinking, reflecting back, starting the year in Buffalo?
It's just baseball is so unpredictable. You never know where it's going to take you or what's going to happen. So it's just my mindset then was kind of just stay true to the process and hope it works out, and it's still kind of staying the same.
How much a guy like Bichette, Springer, Blatty help a young guy like you in a team like that?
Yeah, I mean, they're the leaders of the team. They help all the young guys, not just myself. But, if you need to talk about anything, they're pretty much always there for you. And we know they have our backs no matter what. And I really appreciate them.
I tell you, one of the great things about playing in the World Series is not only just on the field, but it's before you come to the game, walking around town, people in your ear, people cheering for you. Talk to me a little bit about the atmosphere it's been here in Toronto for this much anticipated World Series.
Yeah, I mean, I think we have the best fans in baseball. Obviously a whole country behind us, and we feel the energy every single night. I mean, they're awesome. We see them on the streets, like you said. Go Blue Jays. I'm here on the street every day. I couldn't be more happy to be here.
Addison, just team-wide philosophy. We've talked so much, and we've seen it obviously about your approach and the contact you make and how tough you guys are to strike out. But it's not just contact. You make contact and slug as a team. You make hard contact. Is that something that was discussed before the season with you guys, like team-wide? Obviously, you swing like a sledgehammer. It's so fun to watch you swing it. But was making not only contact but hard contact something that was team-wide approach that was discussed, way back in February?
For sure. I mean, David Poppins came in and said, "Hey, we're gonna. I don't care if you swing at breaking balls in the dirt. Get your swing off. Get your A swing off every time." Which is kind of funny because we're a high contact team, but pick your spots and let it eat. Why not?
Hey, two things. First of all, I want you to look at the camera and say, "Hi, Adam." That's his father. Say what's up to your pop right there.
Hi, Adam.
There we go. Second of all, no, I know what I'm talking about.
I like it.
That guy. Second of all, this guy have a home in the Dominican Republic. Just so you know, now you need to go to Casa de Campos, okay?
Okay.
I'll take you there. Don't worry about it. Win the World Series. What about this first?
All right, sounds good.
A pretty good day for the Blue Jays and this guy, Addison Barger, pinch hit grand slam.
And by the way,
hold on. We got a present.
I only give this shirt to the bad guys.
There you go. It's official.
Mato. You Mato, boy.
Addison, don't feel
not
like...
even Bloody had one yet.
But don't feel like you have to wear it. You got Boston around. You don't have to wear it, man.
Red Sox, that's going to be tough.
He already know. You know, Papi.
Tough look.
Addison, congrats. That was awesome. Enjoy it. We'll see you tomorrow.
Great job.
Hey,
Addison
congratulations,
Barger,
man.
pinch hit grand
Take
slam
care,
for the
buddy.
Blue Jays and a big Game 1 win, a 9-run sixth inning. Unbelievable. And so Game 2 tomorrow, 7 o'clock Eastern. Our coverage, our Fox, and obviously the Blue Jays strike first with a 1-0 lead over these Dodgers, doing what they do. They win at home. They come back. They did both here tonight. Stay tuned for your late local news, except on the West Coast on Fox, and for continuing post-game coverage of the World Series.